Ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, it is so exciting to say that today is our top 32 SVDS round 3. We hope you guys are just as excited as we are to get action kicked off today. We had one hell of a qualifying session yesterday, and it's only about to get better because we finally get to see some head-to-head battles. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Alex when he's going to read out who our first drivers are.
Yeah, so today we're going to be having a great battle tree here. As you can see, first battle is Darius versus Alex Standings. Our second battle being Linus Tornqvist versus Brandon Carter, Kristaps versus Brendan Stacey, Danielas Parangauskas versus Axel Toplin, Daniel Andrejev versus Joe Valla, Kaden James versus Seth Miller, Simon Sandman versus Dustin Jones, Anthony Taylor versus Jesse Dos Santos, Marcel Szynski versus Liam Scahill, Marco Rourke versus Michael Carlson, Gert Kuberset versus Josh Byrne, Cameron Mustard versus Eric Linkvist, Barna Pogotsky versus Sebastian Sharon, Luis Zanata versus Jack O'Farrell, Ernests Jacoblis versus Kian Reddy, and Kieran Bond versus John Elgood. And that will be your top 32 for today. But we'll move it to Darius Ostraka versus Alex Standings. As you can see, they're on the line. Darius Ostraka in that 2JZ S15, and Alex Standings in that S54 supercharged or turbocharged, I must say, Stuart Mclellan E36.
Absolutely stacked lineup of drivers today. This top 32 is only going to get more exciting as we go on. We've got some absolutely heavy hitters in our battle tree for today, and I mean, it's pretty evident here with Darius Ostraka versus Alex Standing. I mean, these two are some very, very talented drivers. I think Darius Ostraka already taken off, and we're ready to send this first battle here. Darius Ostraka in the lead position with Alex Standing in the chase here. I think 36 is going to be sending it in behind it here. Switching the cameras over.
Big
now
transition.
we can see coming into the outside clip 2 and 3. Alex Standing a little bit left at the angle, trying to get right up onto the door of Darius Ostraka, knowing that he's fast, losing him a little bit again to go into outside zone 4. Alex Standing just trying to find that groove, trying to find the flow here behind Darius Ostraka. Ostraka running a nice and consistent lead run and giving Alex Standing every opportunity, but I just don't think Alex Standing sees the moment there.
No, I think Alex Standing's making a bit of a mess of that run, but can he pull it back in the lead? Anything can happen here because it's drifting. But Darius Ostraka, we know, is a pronounced chase driver. He can stick it to any door he wants to, no matter what mistake the lead makes. So can he do it again? But you never know. Sometimes these drivers have a bit of a mishap. And can this be a lucky win for Alex Standings, or will Darius Ostraka push him around the track?
We'll have to see here as Alex Standing goes and takes off in that lead position. Here we go. Big initiation from Alex Standing. Not quite as deep as he'd like to be on that first outside clip. But Darius Ostraka not wasting seconds. Trying to get up onto the door of that E36. Look at that. Putting the pressure on. Maybe lacking a little bit of angle, but just trying to make sure he keeps the pace of that very fast, I'd imagine, E36 with that S54 on
big dive
hood. That Mclellan Motorsport E36 leading in a beautiful chase run from Darius Ostraka and finishing out the run stronger of both drivers. Now, if I had an opinion or a say in this, I'd definitely say Ostraka's probably got the advantage here, but who knows? There could have been mistakes. There could have been anything that the judges might see. Once again, we have Arctics, Tyce Pro Tire, as well as Rise here judging for us, and they're going to be one of the ones making the calls. Us up in the booth can only do as good as the best guess. So we'll have to see what the judges think about this battle. Definitely an eventful one for our first battle of the day. For sure gonna be if this is gonna set any precedent for how the rest of the day is gonna go, this is gonna be a good day for sure. Round 3 SVDS. We hope you guys stay tuned in because this is one hell of a day.
Yeah, 100%, and these guys putting down an amazing run here. See Darius Ostraka on that back bumper, diving in on that transition, absolutely trusting Alex Standings in that E36, making sure they get across that line and putting a bit of pressure there on Alex Standings. But you see Alex Standings here putting on a bit of pressure, and then maybe thought he was going to slow down a bit and throw on a bit of angle, but mistimed that. So here we go. If you want to swipe him left for Alex Standings, swipe him right. Let's swipe him left for Darius Ostraka, swipe him right for Alex Standings, and there you go. Darius Ostraka gets the win. And yeah, he'll be moving on to the top 16, and Alex Standings will have to go back and recalculate what he's doing for next round.
And please note that these are the wrong vehicles on the screen. We should be able to fix that sooner than later. There are definitely still going to be some hiccups with the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We are still a pretty fresh series. I mean, last season was our test season, and this season is we're trying to add some more spit and polish to this. So forgive us if it's not all polished up and we need a little bit of rattle can spray paint to keep this stuff together, you know. Sometimes we have a little bit of issues, but up next here, this should be Brandon Carter against, who is it again? Linus Tornqvist.
Linus Tornqvist there in this. He's been proving himself out here in that AAT Supra. Brandon Carter, this is the first round I think he's qualified for, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be a big challenge for him. Let's hope he doesn't climb any mountains today, but he gets to win for himself. But Linus Tornqvist, can he be the upset here? Can he upset everyone today and win against Brandon Carter? Because, you know, everyone knows Brandon, everyone wants Brandon to win, but everyone knows Linus as well, so you never know. We don't know who we want to win, but here we go.
Here we go, off the line goes Linus Torgfist in the lead position, that A80 Supra, ready to lead in that S13 of Brandon Carter. Brandon finding himself getting a little bit of a gap pulled on him by that A80 Supra. We know that they're finishing the straight line, but are they fast going sideways? It looks like it is, but Brandon Carter reeling him in, sticking it right to the door of that A80 Supra, matching the line, matching the angle. A really good performance we're seeing from Brandon Carter. A little bit of a hiccup there as he tries to stick it to the door. A little bit of a straight up there, but definitely trying to keep the car at angle and stick it to the door of that A80 Supra. Finishing out the run strong is both of these drivers. Brandon Carter definitely has some stuff to clean up during that run, but Linus Torgfist now going to be in the chase position, and we'll have to see if he has what it takes here. Rise will set up the lights. They'll go red, it'll go green, and these guys will be ready to send it. Brandon Carter now in the lead position in that PS13. Linus Torgfist ready to chase him in that A80 Supra. Let's see how this goes. That A80, once again, is a very popular choice this season in terms of drift chassis, which is interesting to see for sure, because, I mean, most people are familiar with Supras as straight line kings, being super fast with those 2JZ power plants. But guess what? They're good for drifting too, as it's been quite proven here recently. So Brandon Carter ready to take that lead position. Linus Torgfist in the chase position. Sending it in is Brandon Carter right on that wide line, just like we like to see in that lead position.
Linus.
Look at that. Linus Torgfist putting the pressure on straight away throughout cycles 2 and 3.
Look at that.
Trying to keep the pace of that S13. Oh, a bit of contact. Brandon Carter getting hit in the back end by Linus Torgfist, trying not to lose his line there, and he does manage to keep it sliding and finish out the run. Both of these drivers definitely trading blows. You know, they're going back and forth like a couple of boxers in a ring, just making some mistakes, but also putting the pressure on and just trying to keep themselves in the running for getting the win here. So the judges will definitely be looking at that contact, seeing whose fault it was. Was it Brandon Carter decelling, or was it Linus Torgfist just coming in a bit too aggressive? I mean, Linus definitely was a little bit low on angle, at least from my memory recollection here, but I mean, Brandon Carter also having this mistake here. You'll see him, he almost straightens up here, coming a little bit too inside of Linus Torgfist, but managed to take it sideways again and keep the slide going behind Linus here. So a little bit sloppier of a chase run from Brandon Carter, but there was also the big contact in the chase from Linus, and you'll see it here in this this replay here. Alex, take it away.
Yeah, as you can see, Brandon doing a nice lead run. Linus getting onto the door here, obviously using a little bit of less angle coming around here. But if you look at Brandon Carter, he sort of like looks like he's trying to not drop tires, but also Linus comes in very fast. It sort of looks like a checkup, but it sort of doesn't at the same time. So it would have to be looked at another angle, because these guys are pushing very hard and trying their hardest, and I think it got the best of them.
Absolutely, and once again, the judges are taking their time with this call. They're going to want to make sure that they get the right decision here. Was Brandon Carter in a decel zone? Was he decelling Linus? Was he a bit too aggressive there in the chase? We know that both of these guys are fighting for inches, and sometimes they take the mile when they probably shouldn't here. So we got to make sure that these guys are, you know, fighting fair and not fighting too dirty, and making sure that they're driving at the best of their ability to get these wins here. That's the beautiful part about competition drifting, is you get to see everybody at their limit, and it's those who push past it that do well. And sometimes you just find it a little bit quicker than you'd like to, and that's where the mistakes happen for sure.
Yeah, 100%. These guys pushing, and here we go. Swipe him left for Linus Torgfist, and swipe him right for Brandon Carter, and 1, 2, 3, and it goes to Linus Torgfist there. So it looks like he'll be getting the win. And yeah, as I suspected, Brandon probably slowed down a bit too much coming there. He did look like he was low on angle, so that's probably a big factor in that. And it looked like you see the smoke fade out. So
but
obviously,
here we go. Kristaps Rasa in the lead position, Brendan Stacy in the chase here. This is going to be one hell of a battle. Brendan Stacy struggling a little bit in qualifying yesterday, having a bit of issues with his car, looking like it had a bit too much grip for its own good, but hopefully he's got that sorted out for today, as Kristaps Rasa, we know, is a very talented driver, pulling, I believe, an 80-plus run yesterday, doing quite well for himself in that 80-90 suit. So Brendan Stacy going to be chasing him in that junk racing at Super Duke S15. And here we go. They're off. Kristaps Rasa in the lead position. That A90 Supra ready to lead in. Brandon Stacy sending it in. Nice and on that wide line. Brandon Stacy a little bit farther back in the chase. Nosing in now. Trying to put the proximity up on that A90 Supra. Doing a beautiful job of it. That junk racing S15 showing its prowess in the position. It's got quite a bit of grip. Nosing in. Oh, big contact. Brandon Stacy looking like he's fighting the car once again. The car seems to be wanting to straighten up on him, and it unfortunately might have bit him there as it went into the back door of Kristaps Rasa. That is unfortunate. We'll have to get them swapped around and see how the second run goes, but if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on Kristaps Rasa right now, taking that advantage away. Brandon Stacy just making a bit of a mistake there.
Big mistake.
Unfortunately. But hey, you know what? Everybody does make mistakes, and Brandon Stacy hopefully will have something to show for it on the lead run here as he comes in leading that A90 Supra. Kristaps Rasa sending it in. Beautiful job from Brandon Stacy as he enters in nice and decent up onto that outside touch and go. Into the clips here, looking really nice as they come down the hill. Kristaps Rasa maybe pulling back a little bit, just trying to stick with him, but not leave him, not get too close. I imagine in fear of anything happening here. It might be that Kristaps Rasa is just playing it a bit safe here. Brandon Stacy throwing down a pretty decent lead line. Kristaps Rasa letting a bit of a gap get pulled on him toward the end there. We'll have to take a look at that afterwards while the judges make their decision.
Yeah, and I think it was a big fault there from Brandon Stacy in that chase position. You can see he misses the clip there. Tries to get the dive through here, gets well through here, very nice through here. You can see he's having a lot of understeering problems there, but nearly nudges him there, and yeah, it's just another hit there. He's just very straight, low angle, and just not really doing a lot of drifting. It looks like he's trying to, it's like Dustin said, it's fighting to go straight, but yeah, it just doesn't want to play ball. But you see Kristaps Rasa coming through here. Very nice lead actually from Brendan coming through here, but Kristaps Rasa sticking with him and Brendan having them issues again. It looks very low powered here, very hard car to get sideways, and yeah, it's just not really playing well. It looks like it has some mechanical issues there.
For sure. And I'm going to take a page out of Jared Dienda's book and say this is the SVDS, and the title stands for Scottish Virtual Drift Series, not Scottish Virtual Drive Straight. You know, we got to keep the car sideways, and it just seems like Brendan Stacy was having a bit of an issue trying to keep that car going. You can even see in his lead run there through outside zone 4, the car wanting to come out from under him, which is unfortunate. It might be a setup issue, and it might be less of a skill issue, more a setup issue. So hopefully he comes back strong, but we'll have to see how the judges decide. Swiping left for Kristaps Rasa, swiping right for Brendan Stacy, and that's unanimous. Kristaps Rasa will be taking the win. That A90 Supra moving on to the top 16. And Brendan Stacy unfortunately packing that S15 on the trailer and hopefully taking it back to the shop to get some adjustments done. I'll definitely hope to see Brendan Stacy at the next round do a little bit better. I'm definitely going to want to see him reach his full potential. You know, we don't want anybody to leave feeling disappointed, but Brendan Stacy definitely going to want to tighten that car up, or, well, I guess loosen it up for sure. But up next here, we have Danielas Parangauskis and Axel Toplin. A battle that I've been really interested to see. Danielas, a very consistent driver in that F22, and Axel Toplin bringing up this Altezza. You don't see them very much these days. Let's see how it does in battles. Nicely done on that initiation, transitioning, losing a bit of ground, nosing right back up on Danielas Parangauskis, putting that Altezza right where it needs to be, putting tire marks on that IRT-sponsored driver. Look at this. Danielas Parangauskis doing a fantastic job as he comes around these outside clips. Look at this transition.
Very nice.
Big commitment here to this section. Axel Toplin just trying to stick it to the door, but loses a bit of ground towards the end of that run there. So love to see how they do on the flip side of this battle.
Yeah, and both these drivers putting in a valiant effort there. Axel Toplin fighting against the big dog Danielas Parangauskis. But can Axel Toplin put down a lead and throw Danielas off? Which has happened before with Danielas, I think, in this situation. So let's hope Axel Toplin can put down a very nice lead, and so can Danielas in the chase.
Absolutely. Axel Toplin, though, now about to take the lead with Danielas Perengowski is going to have to put on a clinic in the chase here. Let's see how he does. Axel Toplin setting it in. Beautiful initiation, nice and wide. It could have been a bit of a tire drop there. Nice. It's hard to tell with the smoke, but look at this. Danielas Perengowski is just putting on an absolute clinic in the chase run, just trying to put it right up under the door and showing everybody that he's got some chase prowess. Right there, nosing up, transition, bumper to bumper. Look at that, beautiful transition.
Nice. On the door.
Getting up onto the door of Axel Toplin and finishing out the run strong with a lot of aggression. We love to see it, and we'll take it over to the judges here in a moment to decide who takes the win on that one. Alex, what do you have to say about this battle?
Yeah, I think that it's a bit of a... It's going to be a different one to call here, because you can see like different mistakes from each driver, but you can tell that Axel Toplin was fighting for that. He wanted all that proximity coming down here. I think there was a bit of more of a decel from Danielas than Axel, but on the bumper from big angle coming through there, slightly cutting the track, and Danielas pulling away, so that'll be a big factor there from cutting the track and getting pulled away from. But you see Axel Toplin on this entry possibly drops a tyre and another tyre straight after that, and drops a tyre there. You can see the car lift up. So a lot of mistakes in his lead here, and Danielas just on the door, nearly basically pushing him. And you can see him coming down there. You can see a bit of a decel from Axel, but Danielas Perengowski is just sicking it to the door, but Axel Toplin fighting away, and yeah, just a tap across the line. I think it's going to be a bit of an advantage. By myself, I would say a bit of an advantage to Danielas, but we don't know because the judges have different cameras and different analytics and telemetry, so they might see something that we don't. But it does look like it for now that this could go to Danielas Perengowski.
For sure, but once again, we are not judges up here. We're just making informed guesses at this point. We do have to wait for the judges to make their decision. We have no say on what they do because they have the angles on these cars that they'll be able to tell if there are tire drops or if there are moments of mistakes here from these drivers. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide here. Danielas Perengowski is once again just putting on an absolute phenomenal performance in the lead and chase position, and Axel Toplin putting up the best fight that he can, taking the gloves off and duking it out hard style here in that IS 300. Maybe lacking a little bit of pace there, maybe just not quite having the vibe, the flow, the ebb and flow of it all, you know, trying to keep that car right there with Danielas Perengowski, and definitely had some moments of brilliance. But I think if I had to count mistakes here, I definitely think that Axel Toplin has a couple more than I'd say than Danielas Perengowski, I'd say. But once again, we are not judges up here. We should be taking it over to the actual judges here in but a moment. Waiting for a decision. I imagine it's going to be Arctic taking his time. The joke, yeah. By the way. We love you, Arctics.
Yeah, it's the love couple of the century right there. So, we're waiting for the judge's decision. We know what happened during the battles, but will the judges do us different? We will never know. We might see something different. But these guys just fighting, of course, as hard as possible. But I'm excited for the rest of this bracket here. There's a lot of good battles. Of course, you have the hard hitters like Marcel, Anthony Taylor. You have others as well, like Ernests, all them other guys ready to go, ready. It's just, there are going to be some good battles. So keep watching, like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll put a show up for you guys and make sure that this is entertaining as possible.
Still waiting on a call from the judges, Axel Toplin. And here we go. Swipe him left for Danielas Perengowski. Swipe him right for Axel Toplin. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, and it's unanimous. Danielas Perengowski gets the win, and we'll be moving on to the top 16. Axel Toplin, unfortunately, that Alteza going to be taking it home. Unfortunately for him, but we should be moving on here.
There we go. So here we go. We've got Joe Valla versus Daniel Andreev. Daniel Andreev in that lead position in that 2JZ S15, and Joe Valla in that 180 SX in the chase. So this is going to be a good battle. Joe Valla being a bit of an underdog in this battle, but Daniel Andrejev here to prove a point, here to show everyone that he's still the king and he always will be, because, you know, Daniel Andrejev winning many championships out there other than us, so he's here to fight and gain another one.
Absolutely, for sure. Daniel Andrejev is definitely one of our more consistent drivers, having been in the fight for the championship quite a bit here. He's absolutely one of our more consistent guys, doing a fantastic job through both round 1 and 2. But Joe Valla, I mean, you can't really sleep on him. He definitely has his moments of brilliance and definitely does a fantastic job whenever he sets his mind to it. So let's see if that's the case this time. Daniel Andrejev in the lead position, that IRT S15, ready to send it in here. Joe Valla sending it onto the back bumper of that S15. Look at that, right there. That
oh, wow, nice transition.
Having the proximity, putting it right on the back door of Daniel Andrejev here. Daniel doing a fantastic job in the lead position, possibly putting a bit of gap on here on Joe Valla. But very nicely doing a pretty good run here with Joe Valla, trying to stick it right to the side of that S15 and losing a bit of ground there through the uphill section. That seems to be a pretty popular place to lose ground there. It is quite a bit of acceleration, and it'll depend on getting on throttle, who gets on it first.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are having problems with, they think that if lead's going to throw big angle into there and they sort of shallow it out to gain that wall run, and Joe Valla throwing big angle out of there, and that's probably why he got pulled away from. But you know, second half of this battle, he has a big chance here, and let's see what happens.
For sure, Joe Valla going to be in the lead position, Daniel Andrejev in the chase. It's going to be super sick to see Joe Valla in that 180 SX, ready to send it here. Daniel Andrejev ready to make it up and do a fantastic job in the chase position as he hopes here. Joe Valla in the lead position, that 180 SX, spinning those tires off the line, ready to send it here. Aggressive initiation, possibly dropping a tire, but looking really solid as he does so. Big initiation. That outside clip too. Look at that, Daniel Andrejev putting the pressure on nice and early, rubbing wheels with the side of that 180 SX. He's trying to take all of the paint off that car. Look at that, putting on the pressure through this section, transitioning bumper to bumper. Daniel Andrejev all over the side of Joe Valla as they go up the hill to that wall, finishing up the run strong. Daniel Andrejev running a finals level chase in the top 32. If that doesn't say how the rest of the day is going to go, I don't know what will, Alex.
Yeah, you can see Daniel Andrejev nice here. A-line on that clip coming around here. A-line, but Joe Valla diving in, dropping a tire on that inner rumble strip. Still getting the outer clip though with Daniel Andrejev. So nice mimicking there, but you can see coming down here, loses a bit of space, but starts gaining it back with Andrejev. Andrejev just running a killer lead line, A-line on every single clip. Joe Valla probably dropping tires there and losing a bit of ground. You can see what I was talking about there, from big angle, and Daniel Andrejev being a bit shallower. But coming through here, there's no dirt kicked up, maybe a bit of a tyre drop there. As you can see, I don't know if that was contact. No, there wasn't any contact, but it looked like Joe Valla threw on big angle and then sort of shallowed up, but Daniel Andrejev wasn't really anticipating that, and as a chase driver, you got to anticipate that, but still an amazing dive, and you can see coming through here, just absolutely decimating the door, pushing him across the line. And here we go, we have a cool swipe him left for Daniel Andrejev and swipe him right for Joe Valla. And there you go, Daniel Andrejev gets the win, and he'll be moving on to the top 16.
Oh, we're already halfway through our next battle. This is Seth Miller versus Kaden James. Kaden James, that lead position, that Aston Martin spitting flames at the side of that F22.
And we have the windows
just flying around that last corner, going up towards the wall, and we have our windows showing. I didn't know the Blackout had Disney Plus installed. What are you watching on there, Blackout? What do you got going on here?
Anyway, moving on.
Blackout's watching some Loki season 2. Ready for that to come out. Seth Miller now in the lead position, that BMW F22. Kaden James ready to follow him in that Aston Martin, that V8 drift car. Super sick to see with Seth Miller in the more consistent chassis, the one that's more tried, true, and tested here. He's sending a beautiful job in the lead position so far, but Kaden James not backing down, putting the pressure on, spitting flames at the side of that F22, trying to put that pressure on and light up the night. as they go onto the door here. Kaden James doing a fantastic job of the chase position. Wow!
Very
that proximity
nice.
to the end of the course was absolutely awesome to see. Kaden James and Seth Miller, two very fantastic driver. Alex, what do you got to say?
Well, we didn't see much of the first half of the run, but there we go. So you can see Seth Miller pushing it onto Kaden James's door. And yeah, doing a great job in that chase position. Kaden James doing a great job in that lead position as well. Bit of a diesel there, choking up Seth Miller. But coming around here, decent lead so far. So Seth Miller's just putting it on the door. And wow, just dooring him across the line. And then Kaden James in the chase. Let's see how he does. You can see in this replay here. Seth Miller doing a great job in that lead position. Had a bit more proximity on Kaden here, but Kaden diving in, it's a very hard battle to judge here. You can see both drivers pushing as hard as possible. Diving in, Kaden cutting the track a bit to get that proximity, low angle, bit of low angle, but he's starting to mimic that angle and get across the line. So you can see these guys pushing as hard as possible and trying their hardest to get across that line and get the win.
Absolutely awesome to see these two drivers. Absolutely fantastic. That Aston Martin, you just don't see that every day, man. You never see. I mean, I think the first Aston Martin like fully competitive drift car I've seen was when Derek Kelly came over to FD and won with that screaming V12. But Kaden James also driving an Aston Martin, a slightly older generation Aston Martin, but deciding, you know what, the V12's cool and all, but I think I want to go with something a bit more tried and true for a chassis, so untested, and he went with that LS, that V8 power. So definitely still super sick seeing it spit those flames and doing an absolutely fantastic job. That V8 Aston Martin, just a super stunning car to look at. But hey, you know what, you can't knock you know, the consistency of seeing that F22. You love to see how good they look. I mean, they're just super sick to watch drive because of how good of a chassis they are. I mean, anything BMW seems to be quite dominant in competition, so super awesome to see that go at it so hard here against Kaden James. So the judges hopefully making a decision here soon. Gonna be taking a look at these runs and seeing how good they do, continuing to see that Windows pop up. Let's see what he's got going on. He's got that Microsoft Edge there. He's got TikTok and Instagram. Makes sense. Your average what do you call it, social media platforms. Opera GX, I think I see there. Opera GX, you can switch to that, have a better time with Chrome.
But yeah, you can see very nice runs from these guys. Still waiting for a judging call. But judges do take their time on these things, so they don't get it wrong.
Waiting for a call from the judges. If you're just tuning in with us now, we hope you're enjoying your time. Hope you're enjoying yourself and seeing these battles, hopefully getting excited to see what is to come. Just waiting on a decision. This is definitely a very close battle. Judges trying to pick apart, split hairs, whatever analogy you choose to use. They are definitely trying to make a decision here. Just trying to, okay, Alex, listen. I don't know how you have access to a soundboard and I don't, but let's not.
Yeah, you know, have to make the stream somewhat entertaining over here. We've got see, do you know there's a Formula Duck? Now there's a Scottish Duck. You can hear the tinge of a Scottish in that accent. Yeah, it's doing pretty well, and it's in that pond. You see, they just went past with all the weeds in there. Ducks just chilling in the pond, even though there's no water in there. Don't worry about it. But here we go.
Finally, a decision. Kaden James, swipe him left, swipe him right for Seth Miller. Let's see what the judges decide. And it's gonna be
crisscross.
Not quite unanimous, but OMT, these guys are going to go at it one more time. Kaden James, that Aston Martin, and Seth Miller in that F22. They're rolling back up towards the line. We're going to get them going.
Yeah, and this is going to be another entertaining battle. I think they're going to push even harder. We might see a big mistake here. I'm feeling it in my bones. Let's hope I don't jinx it, but I feel like it's going to happen here, so let's get ready.
Here we go. Kaden James in the lead position. Seth Miller in the chase. That Aston Martin taking the lead position seriously as he flicks it in. Look at that wide on that white line with Seth Miller right there in tow. Right there on the door of that Aston Martin, sending it around outside zone 4. Look at this.
Very nice.
Doing a great job in the lead position. Nice and deep on those outside clips. Exactly where you want to see him. Transitioning aggressively out onto that white line. Seth Miller trying to stick right up onto the door. Kind of hard to see it with the camera switching, but that's okay. We got to see the end of the run here as Kaden James and Seth Miller looking absolutely fantastic as they fly past that start section of the course here. Oh, if you never before seen, get to see the chase cam.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to see anything behind them, you know. But here we go.
Here we go. Seth Miller in the lead position. Kaden James in the chase. Seth Miller sending it in. Nice wide line here as he sends it out to outside clips too, with Kaden James right there nosing in. A little bit less angle, but keeping the proximity on. That pressure being put onto Seth Miller, trying to sweat out a mistake here from Kaden James, just trying to put on that pressure. Seth Miller right there on that white line, right there on that outside line that you want to see him on, getting up towards the wall and finishing up the run strong. What a battle, ladies and gentlemen. If this isn't entertainment, I don't know what'll keep you entertained, to be honest.
Yeah, if you ain't entertained, you can get entertained by Austin saying proximity on pressure. So, you know, we're having a good day here at SVDS, but you see these battles are very good. Yeah, Kaden James in that beautiful Aston Martin British manufacturer, and you can see Seth Miller doing his best job to try to keep up.
Listen, Alex, all I'm going to say is that up here in the commentary booth, when you name another commentator that talks as fast as I do, you gotta sometimes the vocabulary gets a little bit lacking when you gotta talk so fast. You gotta cover everything in a run, and sometimes, yeah, proximity and pressure are the best words to describe how close somebody's getting. I mean, look at this. Seth Miller putting the pressure onto Kaden James and trying to sweat out a mistake.
Yeah, you know,
putting that proximity on that door of that Aston Martin, keeping the pressure on while he gets proximity to put pressure onto the proximity.
See, there you go. Now you're talking slower. But we're still waiting for the judges' call here, and you see Kaden James getting very close to that outer zone, nearly going off track, but Seth Miller just pushing him. But this is only top 32. Chill out, guys, you know? No need. But these guys are fighting for that big prize at the end of the round. They're fighting for that first place, £125. So can they get there? Can they do it? Of course, a lot of prizes in this series.
Waiting on a decision. That Aston Martin, absolutely stunning to look at. I can't overstate it enough. I mean, it's super sick to see chassis that are less tested and more fun to watch here. See them parked up. Seth Miller, Kaden James, both there waiting for a call from the judges. Seth Miller doing a reverse burnout at very slow wheel speeds. So I'm gonna do a little burnout. I'm not gonna produce any smoke or nothing. I'm just gonna you know, turn these wheels, get these tires up to temp.
1 mile per hour burnout. You know, because that is ethical. As I fall asleep while the judges make their call.
Where's the correct sounds now, Alex?
Don't know. Oh, and there they are. Even they just randomly go by, you know. They're just checking on the track, making sure it's all alright. Let's hear an applause for these drivers, guys. Yeah, there we go.
What applause. That is a live stream after all. Kaden James, Seth Miller, swipe him right. For Seth Miller gets the win. Kaden James, a very hard fight, but unfortunately just wasn't enough to take out Seth Miller. Seth Miller going to be moving on to that top 16 spot.
And yeah, Kaden James sadly having to put it home, but yeah, well-deserved win there. Oh boy, and look who we have here.
This is Dustin Jones ready to chase in the sensational Simon Sandman. Here we go, ready to send it in on that wide line. Look at that, Simon just pulling a gap on Dustin Jones. Look at this, Dustin Jones trying to make up the ground, but just can't seem to quite find the proximity. With Simon Sandman throwing down a beautiful lead run, giving no excuse to Dustin Jones as to why he can't chase it. Dustin Jones, though, finally finding a bit of proximity, but just can't quite seem to find that line, you know, trying to find the flow, try and stick into a groove, but just can't seem to quite find it, you know? Looking all around, can't seem to find the groove, so Simon Sandman probably walking away with a bit of an advantage on that run with being the sensational driver that he is. Simon Sandman, absolutely fantastic. We love to see him out here. One of the mainstays of the competition. Sending it in, big initiation, nicely done. Sandman right there on the door of Dustin Jones. Dustin sending it nice and deep, but dropping tires there at that section of the course here, coming in outside zone 3. Sandman says, I know that I've got an advantage, but I'm just going to put the pressure on anyways.
Yeah,
just as I say that though, Sandman looking like he's going a bit deep here, trying to stick it to the door of Dustin Jones, but look at that, nosing right up. He doesn't care. He doesn't. He says, hey, listen, they call me sensational for a reason. I gotta put down a show.
100%, and that was just... This is why we call him sensational. Because he is the sensational Simon Sandman. Yeah, there's not much to say about these two battles. You can see making a bit of mistakes there in the chase, not really matching line or having much proximity. You see him pushing across the line, but you see these two doing donuts. Very happy. And swipe him left for Simon Sandman, swipe him right for Dustin Jones, and Simon Sandman gets the win, and he'll be moving on to the top 16 versus the winner of Anthony Taylor versus Jesse Dos Santos.
This is going to be a battle, two bigger chassis. We love to see it. Anthony Taylor versus Jesse Dos Santos, that R35 going up against that Zone 1 E92. Definitely going to be an interesting battle here to see. Anthony Taylor going to be putting down one hell of a lead run. I'd imagine he's going to be definitely fighting for it. Here, after going out in the top 8 of the last round, he's going to want to improve his performance, but Jesse Dos Santos would love to play spoiler here and get here onto the door of Anthony Taylor. Anthony throwing on a beautiful lead line as he gets out of the outside clips 2 and 3. Jesse Dos Santos finding a little bit of wavering there, but manages to find the proximity and get up onto the door of that E92. Manages to find some of that and gets right there. Anthony Taylor, though, running a textbook lead line coming up the hill towards the wall. Jesse Dos Santos putting on that pressure and finishing out the run solid. Chase run looking pretty solid. See, Alex, you got me in my head. Every time I say proximity or pressure now, I'm like, I'm ruining my flow. It's ruining my vibe, okay? I gotta keep your vibe. Dos Santos in the lead position, that R35 setting it in. Beautiful job in the lead position as he's going nice and deep into the outside cliff. Anthony Taylor,
very nice. Here he goes,
right up onto the side of that R35. Look at that. I managed to talk about
running more angle.
Saying the word pressure or proximity.
Oh, look at that
again. Anthony Taylor right there on the door of Jesse Dos Santos. Jesse going on a pretty
pulling away.
A little bit of little couple of mistakes here, but Anthony Taylor doing a fantastic job in that chase position.
Yeah, so it's a very close run between these two, and I think it'll be down to the judges on this one. They're gonna have to look at this with a telescope. Big angle by Anthony Taylor, but basically having the same proximity as each other, but Anthony Taylor having a bit more there, but it pulling away, coming through here very nice on the white line, on the A line, coming through that zone. A line again, running the white line all the way around and just getting onto that wall, but Jesse Dos Santos getting onto the door. But you can see here Jesse DeSantos slightly pulling away from Anthony Taylor there, having a perfect entry. By the looks of it, having a bit of a bobble during that transition, but Anthony Taylor running more angle. Jesse DeSantos running a little less angle than we would like to see, but Anthony Taylor's just pushing him around this corner here, running a lot more angle than Jesse. And Jesse looks like he's running very shallow there. And Anthony Taylor running a big angle in that chase, just copying his line. And here we go, swipe him left for Anthony Taylor, swipe him right for Jesse DeSantos. And 1, 2, 3, and it's a unanimous decision. Anthony Taylor gets the win, and here we're moving on to the top 16. And here now we will show you the bracket, and we'll show you the first half of the top 16 and what it's shaping up to be. So you can see all these battles on screen. Amazing. Like, look at the bottom one, Simon Sandman versus Anthony Taylor. That's going to be one insane battle. You see Dyce the Striker versus Linus Torquist, and then Kristaps Rasa versus Danielas Parangauskas, Daniel and Jeff versus Seth Miller, and then, as I said, Simon Sandman versus Anthony Taylor. So that's going to shape up to be an insane top 16, but we'll be moving on to the other battles. The right side of the top 32, which is Marcel Zazinski versus Liam Scahill, Mark O'Rourke versus Michael Clarkson, and Gert Kubicep versus Josh Byrne, Cameron Mustard versus Eric Lundqvist, Barna Pakosdi versus Sebastian Sharon, Luis Naton versus Jack Farrell, Ernests Kublis versus Kian Reddy, and Kieran Bond versus John Elgert. So that'll be the rest of your top 32 that are now going to come up after this ad break.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through that ad break. We are ready for more action. The top 32 continues now for SVDS round 3. Alex, who do we have up here first?
But now we have Marcel Straczynski in the lead versus Liam Scahill in that chase position.
Absolutely phenomenal here. Can't wait to see how these guys do. Marcel Straczynski in the lead position, Liam Scahill in the chase. That V8 powered S14 ready to chase in that S15, I believe, running a 2J. Marcel Straczynski proving himself a fantastic driver last season, so let's see how he handles it this season with his own custom car this time around. We'll have to see how he does here.
Yeah, and I think this car has already earned Marcel Straczynski a VDC license in another series, so can he get another get another win through this series now? Let's see if he can do it. But Liam Scahill being a tough challenge to fight in the top 32.
Here we go, Marcel Straczynski to be leading in Liam Scahill here. Waiting for these drivers to take off. Rye's going to be sending him at any moment. He's just in the judges' chat waiting to send them. Just waiting here for judges to send these guys. And here we go, Marcel Straczynski in the lead position, Liam Scahill in the chase. Marcel taking off, going to be leading in Liam here as he sends it in. Big initiation, look at that, nice done there on that wide line as they come into outside clips 2, going up to 3. Liam Scahill trying to put it right up onto the door, look at that.
Very nice.
In. Absolutely massaging the car up onto the side of Marcel Straczynski, but ooh, falling back just a little bit, trying to stick into the pocket here with Liam Scahill, just trying to stick it to him. Marcel Straczynski throwing down one hell of a lead line, and Liam falling back quite a bit there towards the end. Liam trying to put up a fight here, hoping that he'll do well. Marcel Straczynski now going to be in the chase position. Let's see how he handles Liam Scahill in the lead.
Yeah, it was a good run from Liam Scahill there. The same with Marcel Suzuki, A-line on every single clip, running white lines, and just overall having a good time. So let's see what Liam Scahill can do in the lead here and what Marcel Suzuki can do in the chase, as Rice sets off at Light Tree any second now, and they will be on their way.
Liam Scahill to lead in Marcel Studzinski. Let's see how he does. Liam in the lead position, Marcel in the chase position. Here we go. Rolling out of that start chicane. Look at that beautiful lighting off the tires immediately as Liam. He's definitely excited to get this run going.
There's Marcel Studzinski.
Marcel Studzinski really putting on the pressure. Wheel to wheel, tire to door. Absolutely nosing in here. A little bit of contact there, but Liam takes it in his stride and keeps going with this phenomenal lead run.
Diving in on the transition.
Really putting on the pressure here over the line. A fantastic job from both of these drivers.
What a run from both drivers here. There's a lot to think about here. For that big angle there from Marcel Zazinski. Liam sort of shortcutting the track to gain proximity through there, but doing a great job with it and just getting on that door. Bit on the back fender there. Ooh, bit of a dive there, maybe tiny bit of contact, a little door tap, but nothing too bad. You see a bit of bobble there from Liam, or maybe dropping a tire past that line, which is a very big mistake. But you see Marcel Suzuki mimicking the line through here, not trying to go too much for proximity, but just mimicking Liam's line and doing a perfect job of it, mimicking his angle. But Liam doing a perfect job in that chase lead position, I mean. But you see through here, Marcel Suzuki just absolutely pushing him in there. Bit of a tap there, which could have been avoided, but just pushing it under his door. You see here, nearly misses his door, but a good run overall, and we'll see what the judges think of this. But just an insane run from both of these guys. This is only the top 32 and it's already heating up.
Absolutely, Liam Scahill doing a fantastic job. Marcel Studzinski showing his prowess here, as he is known as one of the more consistent drivers of this series. Absolutely just pinpoint perfect through most of his lead run, as well as the chase run, and just knowing how to handle Liam Scahill here as he gets all the way around. Just stuck to Liam Scahill. But here we go, Liam, look at this. He was on the door of Marcel Studzinski, definitely putting up a fight, but I think the mistake lies right here as it comes in a little bit shallow on angle, noses in too hard, and then comes in transitioning with not enough angle, has to reel some on, and that loses speed for him as they come around this last section of the course. So definitely going to be something the judges are looking at, and hope that they do well here.
Yeah, of course, these two guys fighting as hard as they can. I know Marcel is a personal friend. I know he's just got into IRL drifting, so it is hard to transition back from IRL drifting to sim drifting, so I'm applauding him for doing this well of a job, as yeah, it is a completely different world out there, and he has been grinding by the looks of it. So you can see this Liam Scahill coming out of nowhere, really. No one really knew who he was, but he just come out as a big force in SVDS. To come through all the mini comps, started beating people left and right, and yeah, he's just doing a really good job here. He definitely knows how to drive, but can he put 2 and 2 together?
Waiting on a call here from the judges. Liam Scahill doing a pretty good job in the chase position. And here we go.
Swipe him left
for Marcel Studzinski, swipe him right for Liam Scahill. And before I could even finish saying that's unanimous, Marcel Studzinski moves on to the top 16. And unfortunately for Liam Scahill, he'll have to return the keys to that borrowed car and head home there. Here's hoping he can do a bit better next time. Liam Scahill, definitely do not count him out. He is a fantastic driver, but going up against a heavy hitter like Marcel Studzinski is just always roll of the dice for sure.
Yeah, and then next we have Mark O'Rourke versus Michael Carlson. So here we go.
Mark O'Rourke in the lead position, that A80 Pro ready to send it in. Big flick initiation. Michael Carlson not quite having the proximity right away here. He's going to want to nose up and try and find it. Mark O'Rourke throwing out a beautiful lead line, just just taking a gap on Michael Carlson. And whoa, wait, what happened there? Did you see Michael Carlson straightening up in the chase position, getting lost in the smoke? Not quite sure where he went there, but he's back in it. I mean, that was interesting to see. We'll have to go back to the replay there after the run is over. I think that might have been a 0 for Michael Carlson, but it's kind of hard to tell. But Michael now in the lead position, and Marco Rourke in the chase here. That A80 Supra going to be following in that S14. Michael Carlson, you can tell, is definitely a little bit mad at himself because he lights off those tires nice and early, flicks it in. Beautiful job on the initiation, but Marco Rourke not backing down, not giving him an inch, not letting him take any miles here as he sends it up under the door of that S14. Look at that, just absolute prowess in the chase position for Marco Rourke, coming off a fantastic performance from the last couple of rounds. Marco Rourke is definitely one to watch as he puts it on the door of that S14. Michael Carlson finishing up the run strong with Marco Rourke closely in tow.
Yeah, very nice run from Marco Rourke there and Michael Carlson. So we'll look at these replays here, seeing Marco Rourke in that lead position, throwing it in on the A line. Nice and outside through there, coming through the transition. Michael Carlson leaving a big gap through here, not using the advantage of the dive you can get from that transition. And yeah, just straight understeering into the dirt pit and then coming straight back out the smoke like, I'm still standing, you know, like it's just coming out here fighting back. And Marco Rourke putting down a solid lead line, but here we go, swipe him left for Marco Rourke and swipe him right for Michael Carlson, and I think we all know where this is going to go. And yeah, a unanimous decision, Marco Rourke gets the win, and sadly Michael Carlson will have to go home. And here we go, we have another battle here, Gert Kubarset versus Josh Byrne.
Gert Kubarset, one of the more unique builds of this series. Look at this, that JZX100 chaser, whipping it around, but Josh Byrne not giving him an inch at all, rosing up right there, picking one of the 4 doors on that car and sticking to it. He seems to have chosen that driver's side door of Mr. Gert Kubarset, but Gert not backing down, throwing down one hell of a lead line for Josh Byrne to follow, giving Josh Byrne every opportunity, and yet Josh Byrne fumbles the bag there as he doesn't quite have the proximity through the last section of that course.
Yeah, no, could definitely have way more proximity through the course. I'd like him to clean. I would like to see him maybe clean up that chase a bit there, but you never know. Gert could make a big mistake. So we'll see what happens in the second half, and here we go, take it away.
Here we go, Josh Byrne in the lead position, hoping to make up for any mistakes there. Gert Kubarset going to be chasing him in, getting a little bit of a gap pulled on him by Josh Byrne, but he's missing a big dive, trying to get up onto the door of that 180 SX. Losing a bit of that angle, just trying to reel him in there. He's got him on the hook, he's got the line, he's got the sinker, now he's got to reel him in, and he's trying to stick onto the door of that 180 SX, but it seems like he just can't quite find the proximity entirely. He's still trying to find Josh Byrne's line, but still putting on a clinic there. Following that line of Josh Byrne, Gert Kubarset doing a fantastic job, but Josh Byrne still coming out and doing one hell of a lead run, so judges are going to have a lot to review on this run for sure.
100%, and yeah, we're gonna go move on to the decision here. Judges being quick and decisive about this. So swipe on left for Gert Kubarset, swipe on right for Josh Byrne, and Gert Kubarset gets a unanimous decision. He'll be moving on to the top 16, and Josh Byrne will be going home.
For Josh Byrne, awesome to see Gert Kubarset do very well, but up next here,
the battle of the R32s.
Mustard. This is going to be one hell of a battle. Kieran Mustard versus Eric Lindqvist.
R32 versus R32. Jap Speed versus Plain Clean Street.
Kieran Mustard and Eric Lindqvist. Eric Lindqvist, I believe, driving for Junk Racing now. See if migrating teams there will have helped him in the long run. Cameron Mustard coming fresh off of a win last event and would like to make that a repeat. So Cameron Mustard going to be fighting at his hardest for in this R32. That Jap Speed Maxxis tire, absolutely fantastic vehicle here Eric Lindqvist going to be chasing him in. Cameron Mustard ready to send it in. The battle of the R32 is sending it in. Big initiation from Cameron Mustard.
Nice.
Nice angle. Smoke show early.
Big dive.
Eric Lindqvist, though, diving up onto the door, trying to rub that Jap Speed logo off of the side of Cameron Mustard's car, but Cameron Mustard not giving him any room to actually get up onto his door. But look at that. Eric's going to take it anyways. He's getting right up onto the side of that R32 of Cameron Mustard.
He's trying.
The proximity. He's trying to stick it onto there, but just can't quite seem to find it. Cameron Mustard has got the pace.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to see that they're both guys running the exact same car. But can the tuning make a big difference? Like they see Cameron Mustard has a bit more pace than Eric there, so he's going to have to fight hard during this lead run.
For sure, but Cameron Mustard definitely cool, calm, and collected here in the chase position. Knows he's got to put on a pretty good show, but he definitely has probably a bit of an advantage here. But hey, you know what? Let's see him go here. Eric Lindqvist sending it in, big initiation. Not quite as deep as he'd like to be, but getting into outside clip 2. Now he's on that line that he wants to be on. Cameron Mustard right there on the side of him. Knows again, choosing a little bit less angle in favor of proximity here as he gets up onto the back door of that R32. Big flick around this transition here. Cameron Mustard taking it a little bit safe as he tries to nose up and push it up the hill. Look at that, reeling him in. That's where we saw the speed difference between the cars, and Cameron Mustard definitely sticking to the side of that R32 of Eric Lindqvist. So Alex, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough challenge here for these two drivers to either get the win, but I think one of them has pulled it out, and you can see Eric on the door here absolutely pushing, not really pushing, but getting there with Cameron Mustard. But you can see that speed difference. They're both on the exact same angle and just pulling away, and there's nothing really Eric can do there. Maybe position himself a bit better, but here we go. You can see Cameron Mustard's chase a bit closer on the initiation here, but getting a bit lost during that transition, but getting that proximity back on the dive and just running a bit lower angle, but getting to the matched proximity and matched angle there, and just pushing Eric around that corner there. You can see a bit of a tap there on the transition, but Cameron Mustard just putting on that pressure and putting on that power up onto that R32's door.
Absolutely fantastic performance from both of these guys. Fantastic to see these guys go at it. Cameron Mustard, once again, like I said, he is fresh off of a win last event, his first win in SVDS, and hoping to continue that momentum here as he's trying to get past Eric Lindqvist here in the standings. This top 32 battle could spell the end for either of these drivers, so definitely pushing for everything that they can to keep it going.
Yeah, 100%.
Waiting on a decision from the judges. Sometimes they do take a little bit longer, just because when you get battles as close as this one, you gotta really split hairs, and you can't split hairs without taking the time to actually take a look at them first. So we got some support in the chat for Eric there, Eric Lindqvist, and that red R32 chasing in Cameron Mustard. Mustard definitely driving quite well, but Eric Lindqvist definitely here to show up and show out here as he's showing off his driving talents, sticking it to the door of Cameron Mustard here. Definitely a little bit left to be desired in some areas in terms of proximity, but was definitely still putting up a fight for sure. It definitely was not an inactive chase. But Cameron Mustard just having that prowess in the lead position.
Yeah, 100%, and I think both drivers put up a good fight, but can one take the win here?
Waiting on a decision from the judges. We're very sorry this is taking so long, but the judges are definitely trying to get a good call here. Alrighty, swiping left for Cameron Mustard, swiping right for Eric Lindqvist, and there you go. Unanimously, it's going to be a one more time. Judges didn't get enough information out of that battle. They're going to be setting them again. Eric Lindqvist in that R32, going to be also facing in Cameron Mustard in his R32. So this is going to be interesting for sure. Getting another chance to go at it here on both of these guys. I always love when you get that second chance to clean it up, and that's exactly what we want to see. They said we want to see a cleaner run, so Cameron Mustard, Eric Lindqvist, hopefully going to be fighting for a better run here.
Yeah, 100%, and I think we will get that from both of these drivers. Both of these drivers know they can push harder than this.
Alrighty, here we go. Off for the first battle of this one more time run. Cameron Mustard in the lead position, Eric Lindqvist in the chase. Cameron Mustard, big initiation. Eric Lindqvist getting a bit of a gap.
There we go.
He's going to want to nose in and try and find the proximity. He just can't quite seem to find him as Cameron Mustard pulls that gap. Look at that. Reeling on the end as he comes into outside zone 4. And here we go. Eric Lindqvist finally making himself a factor in this chase position here. But Cameron Mustard just seems to have the pace dialed in, firing up the hill. Eric Lindqvist, though, taking his lessons he's learned from last time and keeping the proximity through that uphill climb towards the end of the run. But Cameron Mustard super fast through that first section of the course. And I just don't think Eric Lindqvist was ready for it.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone could be, to be fair. It's a very hard thing to anticipate, so let's hope they do it better on the second run here.
Here we go, Cameron Mustard in the chase position, Eric Lindqvist in the lead. Here we go, that R32 leading in that other R32, that red versus the Jap Speed livery here, setting it in. Look at that, Eric Lindqvist super quick. Cameron Mustard trying to find the proximity and just to find it here as he goes right outside zone 4, right there, putting that pressure on. Tire to door to door action as they transition through here. Bumper to bumper is Cameron Mustard as he tries to nose in for this final section of the course and pushes up towards him. At the end, a fantastic run for both of these drivers. Maybe a little bit left to be desired from Cameron Mustard through that first section of the course, but getting towards outside clip 4, he definitely did a much better job here. Look at this. You can see the absolute speed of Cameron Mustard through this section. Eric Lindqvist was just not ready for it. What are you thinking, Alex?
I don't know. There's a big gap there. You can see, like, it's going to be a hard one for the judges to decide because you have the factor of proximity, but then you can look at each other's mistakes. Obviously, these guys both leaving something on the table here. But you see this lead run from Cameron, Eric Lindqvist in that chase. You just see, big gappage there. But in Cameron's chase, we maybe have to look at that again to see if there was any big mistakes that we could see. But here we go. You see Eric diving in on that door though, trying to get proximity on the last corner and making sure he puts in them extra points. But you can see Cameron's chase here. Nice entry there, keeping a bit of proximity left so he can get onto that line. But you can see Eric shallowing up there, a bit of very weird line he took through there, took the transition a bit too inside, and I think that sent him on a weird line, is him having to let go of angle a bit. But Cameron Mustard doing a better job in the chase position, and that, as I would say, and maybe even the lead. So I don't know here. Personally, I think that Cameron could have the advantage in this situation. But yeah, we'll wait for the judge's decision and see what they think.
And here we go, swiping left for Cameron Mustard, swiping right for Eric Lindqvist. And that's 1, 2, and 3 unanimously. Cameron Mustard gets the win and will be moving on in that Jap Speed Performance R32. Eric Lindqvist, unfortunately, even though he put up one hell of a fight, will be heading home. with that R32, unfortunately. But Cameron Mustard on his way towards a win again. A second win would be really nice for him for this season.
Yeah, and I think everyone's rooting for him, you know. Cameron Mustard being a very nice guy in the scene and a guy that you'd always want to hang around and chill out with. So I think no one would complain if he did win another round.
Absolutely, but up next here we have Barna Pagazdi and Sebastian Sharon.
Yeah, that's going to be another interesting battle. Two underdogs going against each other. Two beautiful cars as well. Barna having the higher qualifier score out of both of these guys with a nice 92.3 or 7 if I'm not mistaken. So doing very good in qualifying for himself there, as I could say.
Getting ready to send him here any moment. Barna Pagazdi and Sebastian Sharon. Barna going to be leading in that A80 Supra of Sebastian, following that S14 of Barna. Here we go, off the line. Barna Pagazdi is super fast through those cones here as he flies out of that start chicane and sends it in. Sebastian Sharon, big gap being pulled on him as Barna Pagazdi is going through this track super quickly. Sebastian Sharon not quite having the proximity, just not a factor in this chase at all. Barna Pagazdi throwing on one hell of a lead line, but Sebastian Sharon just cannot find the line. Look at that, he finally makes his way into the camera shop and just can't find the speed to get up onto the door of that S14. That is quite unfortunate for Sebastian Sharon. I imagine it's quite a big advantage to Barna Pagazdi here.
Yeah, very unfortunate event happening there. Just seemed to be very nervous there from Sharon, and I don't know, that could maybe be an inactive.
Sharon in the lead position. Barna really chasing him in. Oh, Sharon quite tight to the inside of the course on that initiation. Not where you want to be. Barna Pagazdi possibly a little bit of contact because of it. But there we go, putting on the pressure as Barna Pagazdi trying to stick onto the door of that A80 Supra. And Sebastian Sharon here, look at this, flying around those outside cliffs in transition. And here we go, Barna Pagazdi right up there on the side of that car. Look at that. Oh, big contact.
Oh.
Sebastian Sharon goes into the wall. Barna Pagazdi. Well, we'll have to take a look at that. Was that caused by contact, or was that just Sharon going into the wall all on his own? Alex, what are you thinking?
We'll have to look at that replay again, but you can see just that gap is big, and I don't think much could fill that, and you would have to be on the door. I do think that is a bit inactive of a chase there from Sharon, so I don't know what the judge is going to deem that as. Maybe gaining a bit of proximity at the end, but you see on this one here, a tap on the initiation, but Sharon doing a really weird entry, so it's both the drivers there to factor in, but you can see very nice chase so far by Barna Pagazdi and just doing a great job in that chase position there, but Sharon doing a better job than he did in his chase around this track. You can see Barna on the door, yeah, and Sharon just smashed into the wall. So that, I think we know a bit what's going to happen here with the judge call. And yeah, swipe him left for Barna, swipe him right for Sharon. And there you go, Barna gets the unanimous decision, and sadly Sharon will have to go home.
Unfortunate for Sharon, but unfortunately everybody makes mistakes. And that was just one of them. So here we go. We have Luis Zanata versus Jack O'Farrell. This should be an interesting one. Luis Zanata, S15 Sylvia, followed in by, once again, another R32. Jack O'Farrell, another fantastic driver here. Here we go. Luis Zanata setting it in. Big initiation. Quite deep on that outside line, but could have been a little bit deeper. Jack O'Farrell right on the proximity. Manages to find it through these outside clips here. Going out in the outside zone for it. So these drivers do. Jack O'Farrell right there with Luis Zanata doing fantastic job through these outside clips, throwing on a pretty decent lead line as Jack O'Farrell
on the door,
rubbing those tires against the door of that S15 Sylvia.
Very nice driving there from Jack O'Farrell in that chase position. And yeah, Luis Zanata doing a great job as well in that lead position, and I think this battle is up to a great start.
Absolutely, but here we go for the second half. Jack O'Farrell now in the lead position. That R32 going to be trying to pull a gap here on Luis Zanata. Look at this big initiation, and just as I say it, that gap does open up a little bit. Luis Zanata transitions a little bit early and finds himself on the tighter line here, trying to stick to the door of that R32. Look at this. Jack O'Farrell doing a pretty good job through that outside zone. Look at this, through the section of the course. Look at that. Wow, a little bit of a drop there from Jack O'Farrell. Luis Zanata noses in on a tighter line, a much tighter line than Jack O'Farrell, but keeps that proximity. A little bit of contact over the line, but nothing major.
Yeah, very nice run there from these two guys. And I think, yeah, great run. And you can see nice initiation by Zanata. Jack O'Farrell doing the most he can to get up onto that door. Very nice lead line so far. A-line hitting every clip. Jack O'Farrell just pushing onto that door, making sure he can apply the pressure nice and clinically on the back bumper during transition. Big dive, big angle from Zanata. And you can see just pushing him across that line and doing a great job there. And here you go, Jack O'Farrell's lead. Nice A-line initiation on the white line. You see Zanata pushing in, cutting the track a bit there, losing a couple points by missing that clip. But Jack O'Farrell did an amazing job in that chase, in the lead, I mean. And you can see maybe dropping a tire on that concrete there by Jack O'Farrell, but Luis Zanata pushing in and just doing the same thing again, cutting the track and just pushing up onto the door. We don't know what's going to happen here. The judges will have to decide this. Yeah, you can see a nice dive there from Zanata, and Jack smooth as anything coming through there. Yeah, drops a tyre though, coming around that bit section into the concrete. But you can see Zanata throwing it big angle, trying to cut the track so he can get onto Jack's door, and it sort of works, but it sort of sacrifices his line score.
Absolutely, Jack O'Farrell doing a pretty fantastic job in the lead position. A couple of mistakes from both of the drivers. Luis Zanata cutting some of mine there. Trying to stick up onto the side of that R32. We're waiting on a decision from the judges. I wish they would take a little bit shorter time, but hey, you know what? You can't argue wanting to make the right call every time. These judges have done a pretty good job of it so far, and I believe they fully intend to keep doing so. So, luckily, we don't have any restrictions on our run times or anything. So we can be here as long as we need to be to get the right call. Jack O'Farrell definitely showing quite a bit of prowess in that R32. That S15 of Luis Zanata, though, you can't sleep on it, doing a pretty good job as well in the lead position. Being pretty solid.
Yeah, of course, these drivers just pushing as hard as they can. Trying to prove a point here today.
Right, here we go. Swiping left for Luis Zanata, swiping right for Jack O'Farrell. And that's unanimous. Jack O'Farrell gets the win. Rise Arctics and Tyre are all saying Jack O'Farrell takes the win. Unfortunately for Luis Zanata, that is going to be the end of the day. But hey, come back next time and pick us in for sure. Next up, we've got one hell of a battle. This one's going to be an exciting one to watch. Ernests versus Kian ready. These guys, two very, very talented drivers on grid here, ready to send it and give everybody some action. Here we go. Ernests Jacoboulos in the lead position of that S14. Kian ready in that A80 Super, ready to follow him in. Ernests Jacoboulos, look at that beautiful flick initiation as he sends it in for the first outside zone into outside clip 2. Kian ready. Ooh, nosing in quite a bit on a much tighter line than Ernests Jacoboulos has to back it up, but because of that loses quite a bit of speed. Kian ready, sticking to that door. Ernests Jacoboulos doing a beautiful job of this section of the course right there on the outside zone. Kian ready just can't quite seem to find that proximity as he gets a bigger gap pulled on him as they go up that final hill.
Yeah, and there we go again. These guys pushing as hard as possible.
Ernests Jacoboulos ready to chase in. Kian ready. Kian in the lead position here. lighting off those tires immediately. Kian ready to send it into that initiation. Ernests ready to chase him in. Look at that right there. Jordan door initiation. Ernests falls back a little bit. Might have wrangled there a little bit in the chase position, but puts it right up onto the door of Kian ready. Kian looking fantastic in this lead run. Where was this in the last run, my boy? You got to stick right with him, but Ernests is showing him exactly how it's done.
Very nice, Ernests.
Wow, bumper to bumper transition on Kian Ready's bumper, sticking it right to him. Ernests Jakubala is showing that he is definitely deserving of being on that virtual team there. Absolutely fantastic to see him go at it here, this lead run here. I want to see something here, because Kian definitely nosed up here pretty hard there, and it might have been, I can't tell if it was because Ernests was slowing down or if it was because Kian was a little bit too fast there.
It was because he was cutting the track, it looks like. He was trying to get onto that door, trying to push as hard as possible. As you can see here, losing a bit of ground there, and that starts on the more dialed line. But you can see coming through here, Kian ready, nice entry on that A line, and that's diving in on that entry, losing a bit of ground through there. Kian wobbling a tiny bit off that transition, but that's just pushing onto that door as he usually does. Coming through this zone here, very nice through there. Kian throwing a bit of a snap to angle there, which the judges aren't gonna like, but Ernests just pushing Kian around the last corner. And yeah, I think we know where this is gonna go, so swipe him left for Ernests, swipe him right for Kian, and they didn't get to finish it. So the unanimous decision, Ernests gets the win, and Kian will have to take it home.
And we're already starting the next battle. We've got John Elgood versus, I can't quite remember who this is. I think this is that Kieran Bond?
Kieran Bond.
Yeah, Kieran Bond in that Subaru. John Elgood, unfortunately, falling back quite a bit in that 400Z. Sticking to the side of that A80 Subaru of Kieran Bond. Kieran throwing in a pretty good lead line. John Elgood, though, finding the proximity again. Fighting that grip. Oh, nosing up, a little bit of contact there, it looks like, as he gets right up onto the door. Look at that, putting the pressure on. He knows that he made a mistake early in the run and wanted to ratify it here.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a very big mistake there.
And here we go, sending him already. John Elgood has something to make up for in that lead position here, with Kieran Bond going to be sticking and trying to stick it to the door of that 400Z. John Elgood doing a fantastic job as he transitions from these outside clips, coming up to outside 2 and 3. Coming over the hill, John Elgood throwing out a beautiful lead line, but with Kieran Bond not giving him any room to breathe here. Kieran Bond breathing down the neck of that 400Z, sticking it right to the door, but John Elgood not backing down, throwing out one hell of a lead line as they go up towards the end of the course and finishing out the run strong are both of these drivers.
100%.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, these guys pushing as hard as possible, very close there, but yeah, it just goes flying, just disappears. It looks like he nearly went into the hill. And yeah, big mistake there from John Elgood, but coming back from it could possibly be a 0, but we can't see what really happened there. Diving in, maybe diving in a bit too hard, and then yeah, coming across the line, that could have been ended really bad, but it didn't. But here you go, Young in Bond in the chase, I mean. And then, yeah, just a very nice chase here, calm, collected, pushing onto the door of John Elgood, making sure he gets that win. But can he do the rest? And yeah, he's pushing in, making sure he's in that pocket. Nice tight proximity, but an amazing lead from John Elgood there. I think that one mistake is going to be decided.
It's a dogfight out there on track, duking it out. It's like two boxers in the ring, you know, they're going back and forth, trading shots, trading hits, just trying to come out on top.
Yep, ding, ding, ding.
We're just waiting on a decision from the judges. This is our last battle of top 32. So after this one, we're going to have Alex read out who is officially in the top 16. And then we'll go to an ad break while we get the server resetted. So here we go. Swipe him left for Kieran Bond. Swipe him right for John Elgood. How are the judges going to decide? Here we go. Swipe him left. Kieran Bond gets the win unanimously, and we'll head it over to the bracket here so Alex can tell you who's going to be in our top 16 as we move on after these ads.
Yeah, so your top 16 bracket, as you see here, first battle is going to be Darius the Striker versus Linus Torquist, Kristaps Rasa versus Danielas Pangauskas, it's Daniel Andrea versus Seth Miller, and the big battle here, Simon Sandman versus Anthony Taylor, and then another big battle straight after, Marcel Zadinsky versus Marco Rock, Gert Kubaset versus Karen Mustard, Barna Pagozdi versus Jacko Farrell, and Ernests Jakublis versus Kieran Bond. So that is your top 16, and we will continue after the ad break.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
Mini skirt on, my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
skates, girl, tonight.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're about to kick off our top 16. We hope you're excited. We hope you're enjoying yourself as we're about to get I'd say the most intense action of all comes out of the top 16. You still got quite a bit of your favorite drivers in, and they're all fighting for that spot in the top 8. The 8 drivers can advance from here, so let's see how it goes. Who do we got up first here, Alex?
So first on the bracket, we have Darius versus Linus Togqvist.
This is going to be a battle. Darius Ostrega, one of our more consistent drivers of the season. Linus Togqvist definitely proving himself worthy here so far at the event. Can't wait to see these guys go at it here. Super excited. Darius Ostrega ready to lead in Linus Togqvist.
It'll be an interesting battle. This is Darius Ostrega being a monster in the scene. But Linus Togqvist is proving that he can throw it in hard and keep up with the pros.
Here we go. We'll get the lights on, lights green, ready to set it here in just a moment. Darius Ostrega to lead in Linus Togqvist. Linus definitely putting up a fight this event, so it'll be exciting to see how he does here. Got some headlights pulling out, lighting up the side of the car so you can see him here. And here we go. Darius Ostrega in the lead position, that 2J S15 with Linus Togqvist also in a 2J powered A80 Supra, setting it in. Big initiation from Darius Ostrega.
Very nice.
Might have been a tire drop, but looking pretty solid as he gets into outside clips 2 and 3. But Linus Togqvist, knowing he's got a giant to slay here, right there with him. Ooh, straightening up, locking up those left foot brakes, trying to keep the car at angle, getting into the pocket behind Darius Ostraka. Darius doing a fantastic job in the lead position with Linus Tornfist all over the side of him, finishing out the run strong are both of these drivers.
Yeah, I think if they keep pushing this hard, they're going to do very well. It'll be a very entertaining round for the rest of this for us guys. So stay along, make sure to subscribe, and maybe if you want to compete, go to the SVDS Discord and look out for some tickets.
Here we go, Linus Tornfist in the lead position. That A80 Super doing a fantastic job so far through clips 2 and 3. Darius Ostraka right with him. Look at that proximity. Look at that pressure he's putting onto the door of that A80 Super. Darius Ostraka just absolutely slaying him, putting it down right where it needs to be. Linus Tornfist doing a fantastic job in the lead position, giving Darius Ostraka every opportunity he can get to get up onto that door. What a fantastic battle, Alex.
Very nice from both of these drivers. I think, yeah, just very nice. I just can't really say much, can you? A bit of a tire drop there from Darius Ostraka. Linus pushing onto the door of Darius there. Darius shallowing up on the angle to try to get away from him. But Linus saying, I can do that too, buddy. And he does it to get back his proximity and gets on the door. Transitions through here. Very nice by Linus, keeping it nice and clean. Just pushing him across that line. Again, Darius on lower angle, but here we go. Big entry by Darius, very nice on the back bumper of Linus. Linus doing a great job in that lead position. But you can see as Darius Ostraka pushes up to Linus's door. But you know, I do think if nothing really big happened, I do think that Linus had a better lead in this situation, but Darius having a better chase. So I could really see this going one more time, even. So swipe him left for Darius Ostraka, swipe him right for Linus Tornfist, and 1, 2, 3, and Darius Ostraka gets the win, and he'll be moving on to the top 8, and sadly Linus will have to go home.
Alrighty, up next we have some very familiar faces here. We've got Kristaps Rasa in the lead and Danielas Parangauskas, a name too big for our overlay here, as it always ends up showing up as Danielas Parangauskas. Or Parangauska. Danielas Parangauskas ready to chase in Kristaps Rasa, that A90 Supra, ready to send it here. Big flick initiation, nicely done. Right there on that A line like we like to see. Danielas right there on the door. Look at that pressure, practically bouncing off of each other here. Kristaps Rasa throwing that one hell of a lead run, but Danielas right there with him. Just can't let him go at all. Danielas knows that in order to impress the judges, he's got to be right there in that pocket the whole time. Look at that, just as expected, Danielas Parangauskas puts on a damn near perfect chase run. Now Kristaps Rasa has got to match it and do better, hopefully.
Yeah, you can see a brilliant run from both of these guys. They're pushing harder and harder every run, and these guys are going to hit their limits sometime. It has to be, because these guys are just doing some insane runs here. And I think one of these times someone might make a mistake because they're pushing very hard.
Here we go, Danielas Parangauskas in the lead position. Kristaps Rasa right there with him. That E90 Supra getting right up onto the door of that IRT F22. Danielas, though, pulling a bit of a gap here. Look at that. The pace of that F22 is proving to be a little bit too much for that E90 Supra, but Kristaps Rasa hasn't given up yet. He says this fight is still going, and he's pushing everything that he can, throwing punches left and right, sticking it on the door, and ooh, bit of contact there towards the end of the run, but finishing it out. Both of these drivers. Alex, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I know that contact could be a big factor in this, but as always, Kristaps Rasa throwing it on that white line. You can see Danielas getting on the door. Nice, a bit of bobble there from Kristaps, lowering the angle to try and get some speed down this hill. Maybe dropping some tires there, but Danielas doing a great job in that chase position, getting on the door and pushing Kristaps across that line, making sure he gets all them points. And here we go, quick decision. Swipe him left for Kristaps Rasa, swipe him right for Danielas Parangauskas, and Danielas gets the win, and he'll be moving on to the top 8 in the IRT F22, and sadly Kristaps will be going home.
Unfortunate, but this is a battle for the ages. Seth Miller versus Daniel Andreev. This is going to be interesting. Daniel Andreev opting for that 2J power plant under that S15. I'm not sure what Seth Miller's running, but that F22, a very proven chassis, ready to go up against him here. Daniel Andreev, tried, true, and classic, ready to send it in. Big full leg initiation right there on the edge of the course, just where he wants to be. Seth Miller, though, ooh, Seth Miller possibly making contact or just getting faced by that transition. A little bit of a straighten up through that, but noses in. He says, I'm not backing down just yet. Another, oh, big contact. Daniel Andreev goes off the course. Oh, that's unfortunate. Seth Miller straightens up, drifts the last section of the course, but man, that was unfortunate. Daniel Andreev, Seth Miller coming into contact towards that midsection of the course. Judges are going to be taking a look at that after the run here to see whose fault that was. Was it Daniel Andreev slowing down too much, or was it Seth Miller going too hard at him? Here we go, second half of the battle. Seth Miller in that lead position, that F22, going to be leading in Daniel Andreev. There's a bit of a hat toss here in terms of who's got the advantage. Well, let's see. Seth Miller sending it big, absolute fantastic amount of commitment here from Seth Miller as they come through outside zone 4. Daniel Andreev trying to stick it right to the door of that F20. Wow. Neither of them are sure if they've got, wow, what a transition. Neither of them are sure if they've got an advantage. They're both pushing as hard as they can still. We'll have to take it to the judges to, oh, look at that. Simultaneous turnarounds. We love to see it. That was nicely synchronized.
Very nice from these two drivers. And again, them doing the best they can to show us what they got. And it's always gonna, these guys just pushing harder and harder every single round. I feel like this is gonna be the time that someone new takes it. The EC contact, obviously. As we wait for the judge's decision here.
Absolutely fantastic run from both of these guys, at least for the second lap. That first lap did get a little bit messy with Daniel Andreev getting punted off the track. Not sure again whose fault that was, but I imagine the judges are taking a look at it now. We'll get a decision here any moment. That's when you get to see who takes it.
Yeah, and being a very hard decision to make here for these guys.
I will say it's interesting to see a little bit less consistency out of any of the IRT guys. You know, Daniel Andreev is usually one of the big bads here, and he does good at reputation. Fantastic driver. So it's interesting to see them make mistakes. You know, you don't usually see.
Yeah, you don't usually see it from these guys.
Eric Linkfish says, I have some explaining to do on why I hate it on his gooseneck wing. That's because I hate all gooseneck wings, Eric. Don't think you're special at all, because I just hate gooseneck wings. I think they're ugly, and I think they do not belong on drift cars in any sense of the word. Alex will fight me on that for sure, and I'm sure you will, but I don't know, just opinions. And you know, you can like them all you want. I'm not about to dish you for having one. I'm just gonna say that I think it's not a good looking wing. Listen, I'm a man who enjoys wings that are on top of their struts, not under their struts. It just looks funky to me, you know?
Yeah, man, you know, gotta be different.
Anthony Taylor's gonna put a gooseneck on his E92. Yeah, maybe you run that by your sponsors before you do that, eh? I don't think they'll be very happy about it, to be fair. At least Jim agrees with me. He says, I feel you, Austin. Love interacting with the chat. Anthony Taylor Jim. Oh no, he has one on the FC already. No, Blake Olsen, why? Alrighty, well, we have a decision. Swipe him left for Daniel Andreev, swipe him right for Seth Miller. Who's it gonna go to? Oh, that's one vote. That's, oh man. Oh, it's not unanimous, but Daniel Andreev does get the win. That is going to be interesting. Daniel Andreev moves on to the top 8. Seth Miller, unfortunately, just getting edged out. Only needed one more vote to take the win there, but unfortunately just didn't quite get it. Now, this is a battle of the ages. The sensational Simon Saman versus Anthony Taylor in that Zone 1 performance. Blake Olsen sponsored. Absolutely fantastic looking E92. Cannot wait to see how this thing does. But here we go. Simon Saman, the sensational Simon Saman, ready to take off here in that lead position, and Anthony Taylor in the chase.
Yes, Simon in that Joachim Anderson Motorsport S15.
Here we go. Anthony Taylor to chase in Simon Saman. Both of these guys super consistent, so it's going to be awesome to see hopefully a nice clean run come out of this. Here we go. Simon Saman, big flick initiation.
Transition.
Right there with him. That bumper to bumper transition. You love to see it. Anthony Taylor right there on the door. Oh, nosing in. Loses a bit of proximity though as Simon Saman throws it. Oh, big contact. Pushing Simon Saman off the course. A little bit of a tire drop there with Anthony Taylor sticking it right to the door. Not backing down whatsoever. That Zone 1 performance from Zone 1. I'm not sure what the word after Zone 1 is, but Zone 1 MWE 92 just doing a fantastic job in the chase. Simon Saman ready to move into the chase run. And here we go, taking off almost immediately. Anthony Taylor now in the lead position. The sensational Simon Saman to chase him in here. Ready to send it in.
Nice initiation.
Anthony Taylor, but Simon Saman was right with him. Not quite as close through the transition as he was. They're getting right up onto the door. Look at this, putting the
on that door. Big contact.
We're gonna contact there from Simon Saman. They're gonna mirror their runs here. Anthony Taylor doing a fantastic job in the lead, but Simon Saman not backing down whatsoever, putting that pressure on. Look at that, practically pushing him up the hill.
Oh,
wow.
It's the wall of it. Took the back end off of that E92. Yeah, and I think this is going to be one to pick apart for the judges here. Anthony Taylor cutting the track a bit to get proximity on that transition, but as you saw from the run just now, Simon Saman had a bit more proximity on the initiation, so we'll see what the judges prefer. Anthony Taylor nudging in a bit there. Comes down, tries to gain a bit more proximity, but overshoots it a tiny bit. Tapping Saman, but getting back onto his door. Trying to get up there, but just can't get up there, but pushing his back bumper up the hill. But you see Simon Saman mimicking his line, getting on the door on transition, sort of cutting the line a bit there, but Anthony Taylor pulling, and just Simon Saman diving onto the door there, and tapping Anthony Taylor around there, and just diving in on that transition, just massaging Anthony Taylor and telling him I am here, and then taking his rear end off on the wall. It's going to be a hard one to pick apart for the judges here, but it's their job and it's what they do. This is to see who will go against Daniel Andreev, which is going to be another hard battle. Simon or Aquas has got a really hard day ahead of him, Anthony Taylor.
Absolutely phenomenal battle, and I imagine the judges were taking a look at this quite closely, right, to make sure that we get a good call on this battle, because it is such a tight battle. I mean, Anthony Taylor, Simon Saman, both of them going at it as hard as they can. I mean, just to prove it there, you got that contact from Anthony Taylor in the chase position. That Zone 1 BMW definitely gonna be the first to push over a S15, so
yeah, 100%. And looks like we have a decision.
Ooh, so we'll be taking it over to the judges' screen. Swipe him left for Simon Sandman, swipe him right for Anthony Taylor. It's gonna be a one more time from Rise. That's one for Anthony Taylor.
And there we go.
Anthony Taylor gets the win. That Zone 1 BMW gonna get to move on to the top 8. Simon Sandman, the sensational Simon Sandman, bows out early, unfortunately. But hey, 16 is nothing to sneeze at. Qualified, beat his top 32, but couldn't quite get past Anthony Taylor. Super excited to see Anthony in the top 8. But now we get to move on.
Yeah, and we'll be moving on to the next battle, which is Marcel Stadzinski versus Makarok. And there you can see here, next will be Marcel Stadzinski versus Makarok. Gert Kubaset versus Cameron Mustard. Barna Pakosti versus Jack O'Farrell. Ernests Jakubulis versus Kieran Bond.
Oh, I'm seeing a very cool battle coming up in the top 8. Obviously, we have Darius Ostraka versus Danielas Parangauskas. That's going to be interesting. But looking down there, I see Anthony Taylor versus Daniel Andreev in the top 8. So that's going to be a very interesting battle to watch there. So I'm excited to see that one. But we do have to get through the rest of our top 16, starting with Marcel Stadzinski and Mark O'Rourke. Just getting drivers loaded in here. Waiting for them. We might run a couple of ads while we get the drivers loaded in, if you guys want to stick with us here.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, this is it. We are here for Top 32, Series 2, Round 2 of SVDS. Here we go, kicking off the second half of our top 16. We have Marcel Stadzinski versus Mark O'Rourke. We hope you guys are buckled in. You paid for the whole seat, but you're only going to use the edge. Well, to be fair, you didn't pay for the seat at all, but we are excited to see it anyways. Marcel Stadzinski and Mark O'Rourke. Both of these guys are phenomenal drivers. Marcel Studzinski, that S15, ready to send it here. That Mark O'Rourke and that A80 Supra, ready to stick it to his door in that chase position. Send him here. Rise will be getting ready to flash the lights at him. Here we go. Marcel Studzinski ready to send it in lead position. Mark O'Rourke going to be chasing him in. Marcel sending it in. Big initiation. Look at that right there, deep on the line. Mark O'Rourke right there with him, nosing in. And ooh, the contact as Mark O'Rourke drops that angle and gets into formation right behind him here. Look at that, sticking it right where he needs to be, nosing up. Marcel Studzinski all over this track, just throwing down a banger lead run.
On the door.
O'Rourke right there on the door, finishing out the run. Strong are both of these drivers.
Very nice there from Mark O'Rourke, pushing him. That's what the crowd wants to see, but Marcel Studzinski doing a great lead there.
Getting ready to set him for the second run. Mark O'Rourke in the lead position. Marcel Studzinski in the chase. Here we go. Flinging it in is Mark O'Rourke. Look at that right there on that A-line. Marcel Studzinski.
Marcel on the back bumper.
Wow, look at that. Marcel trying to keep that proximity, getting right up with him. Mark O'Rourke got so much speed coming down through outside clips 3 and 4. This big angle
on that door.
Supra. Marcel Studzinski not giving him an inch, sticking right to the door as he should, right there.
There we go.
Placed and finishing out the run strong are both of these drivers.
Very nice time from both of these drivers here. You see Marcel's lead. Yeah, A-line through there, very big angle. Using that wise fab to the limit. And yeah, Mark, a bit of a tap there, but all dandy and fine. Coming down this hill, Mark just sticking it to Marcel, backing off a tiny bit, getting ready for any little mistakes, but Marcel did not make any. Mark just diving in back onto that door, but Marcel just pushing away from that line.
Absolutely phenomenal run from both of these guys. We'll get a decision here from the judges in just a moment. They got to look at this with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah, 100%. And these guys are pushing very, very hard. We're waiting on a decision here from Marcel Studzinski versus Mark O'Rourke.
Just waiting on a decision from the judges, taking their sweet time. They got to make sure that they get the right call out here. So apologies for the silence here as we, unfortunately, here up in the commentary booth, you know, we do run out of things to say. You know, as contrary to popular belief, we don't just talk out of our butts half the time. We do make sure that we try and have stuff to talk about, but eventually we do run out, and there's not much else we can do about it. We try and keep the energy going as long as we can while they make decisions. And here we go. Finally, Marcel Studzinski or Mark O'Rourke. Swipe him left, swipe him right. Let's do it one more time from Right
want it
there.
one
And
more
it's an
time.
entirely split decision. We're gonna send him again. Marcel Studzinski versus Mark O'Rourke.
Yeah, and we'll need to run them back again. And yeah.
Drivers coming back to the line. Marcel Studzinski and Mark O'Rourke going to be sending it here. We'll get him going for this one more time battle. Marcel Studzinski versus Mark O'Rourke. To go red, the lights will go green, and these guys are gonna send it. Here we go. Marcel Studzinski in lead position. Mark O'Rourke in the chase position. That A80 Super are going to be going up against him here, ready to chase him in.
Nice initiation.
Marcel Studzinski to Mark O'Rourke right there with him. Look at that, putting the pressure on. Ooh, a little bit of contact again as Marco pushing for everything that he can, nosing in, lunging up onto the side of that S15, but Marcel Studzinski not phased by it, throwing out a perfect lead run so far.
Very nice.
Mark O'Rourke nosing up. Look at that. That pressure, that lunge from the transition. Absolutely fantastic. Just A-list from all of these guys for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And Marcel's going to have to push here. He's going to have to put his last ditch effort here because Mark put on a blinder of a chase there. So he's going to have to enter on his door.
Mark O'Rourke sending it in. Big initiation. Nice and fast in that section.
There it is.
Studzinski, bumper to bumper transition, putting the pressure on a lot cleaner than Mark O'Rourke and keeping the proximity just like he did. Look at that. Throw outside.
Oh my God.
Right there through that. Mark O'Rourke dropping tires. Marcel Studzinski following him in, following around Mark O'Rourke.
On the door.
A little bit of contact there as they tap the wall. What a run so far. Alex, give us your thoughts.
It's just amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Coming through here, nice there for Marcel Studzinski, a bit cleaner there. But Mark O'Rourke tapping him again, just pushing him a bit offline, but that's as fine as it is. Nice gentle rub on the door, saying, "Hey bud, I'm here." And you can see running that white line around there, getting the A-line and everyone. Mark diving in onto that door. But Marcel not phased at all and just running the run out. So here you see the second half. Marcel in that chase position, throwing it in, cutting the line a bit there, but nice transition here, diving onto the door, keeping it nice and clean, whereas Mark O'Rourke did tap him a couple of times here, which is in favour of Marcel. But coming through here, it does look like there was a bit of contact there, but we don't know whose fault that is, so we'll let the judges decide that. And going across the line, and there we go. So we'll see if we have a call anytime soon. As we wait for one more judge to give us the call.
Just waiting here for the judges to give us a call here. Mark O'Rourke doing a fantastic job against Marcel Studzinski, who is also known for being a fantastic driver of the series. Marcel absolutely showing up and showing out. Finally in his own pro car here. Earned himself a VDC license in another event that he was kind of competing in. And he's here in SVDS to have some fun and hopefully take home a championship.
Yeah, 100%. And these guys fighting really hard, pushing teeth to nail. So it's going to be
Like the saying
Really
you're
pushing
going
it.
for is tooth and nail there, Alex.
Too fan now. At least it's not as bad as the one yesterday.
Listen, that was funny. That was comedy.
No, it wasn't. It was the most 2023 joke Gen Z thing I've had.
Listen, I know Gen Z, okay? I consider myself a mini millennial.
Oh my god. Oh dear.
Listen, I was raised by millennials. I'm basically a millennial by birthright.
Mm-hmm. But we're still waiting on judges here.
The judges are taking a look at some of the contact during this run, especially the one towards the end of Marco O'Rourke's lead run here. The contact bumping Marco O'Rourke there.
They're gonna have to take a hard look at this, to be fair. And I don't think it's a win-win situation, because either way a driver could say, well, he did this or he did this, you know. It's going to be really hard for them to decide. Could go one more time again, you never know. Okay, and we have a decision.
Here we go.
Swipe
Swipe
him
left for Marcel Studzinski. Swipe him right for Marco O'Rourke. Who's it gonna be? That's one for Marco O'Rourke, one for Marcel Studzinski, and that's two for Marco O'Rourke. Marco O'Rourke getting the win. We might actually get a judge in here to explain that call. Just for the chat who were talking about it. We're just going to try and get a judge up here before this next run starts, and we're going to see if we can get an explanation on that call for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to send a judge up here and hope that they can get us a bit of an explanation. We like to keep make sure that everybody understands the call so that nobody can be mad about it, and if they are mad about it, they can be angry at the guys who actually do make the decisions.
GP's drivers patiently waiting for the stop line.
Here we go. We've got Tyres Tire here, one of our judges. He's going to explain the call for you guys. So take it away, Ty.
Hello. So, what we saw was there was contact by Marcel and Dyce in the hairpin at outer 5 and 6, or just 5. There was like 2 small taps, and it sent Marco O'Rourke a little bit wide. And then what really sealed the deal is Marcel Studzinski hitting Marco O'Rourke. It was another tap that sent Marco O'Rourke wide before the last outer and caused Mark to hit the wall.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate that explanation. Thank you so much for showing up. So Marco O'Rourke will be moving on to our top 8. And Ty, you can head back down. You hear him leaving the call, and now we get to move on to a battle that I'm sure people are pretty excited about. Gert Kubarsap versus Cameron Mustard. Cameron Mustard, an absolutely phenomenal driver, coming off of a win last event. Probably wants to repeat that, and Gert Kubarsap is standing in his way, so we should be able to get this started here in just a moment. Cameron Mustard in that Jap Speed R32. Here we go. Gert Kubarsep to lead him into that JZX 100 chaser. With Cameron Mustard chasing in that R32. Big initiation from Gert Kubarsep. Big angle from that four-door. We love to see that. Absolutely fantastic from Cameron Mustard, taking the opportunity.
Oh my God.
Charging right up. Look at that. Tire to door. Rubbing the livery right off that chaser. Absolutely fantastic run so far. Cameron Mustard right there.
Oh my God.
Kubarsep though, just throwing down one fantastic lead. You can't have a good lead without a good chase, Alex. I think that Gert Kubarsep definitely pulled that off.
Yeah, just robotic from both drivers here. And that was just insane from both drivers. It's only top 16. And we're already having battles like this.
Absolutely, but here we go. Gert Kubarsep. Let's see if that big four-door can keep up with the two-door R32 of Cameron Mustard. Here we go. Big initiation. Cameron sends it in. Big Gert right there on the door, but loses out on the transition. Has to try and reel him back in. Cameron Mustard, though, we know
there's that speed from Cameron.
Look at this. He's flying down the hill through outside zone 4. Look at this right there on that outside clip with Gert Kubarsep. Right.
Oh, Gert diving in.
Big dive from Gert Kubarsep as they move up towards the last section of the course. Finishing out the run. Cameron Mustard, a fantastic lead run. Gert Kubarsep doing a lot better in the chase than I think was anticipated from such a big chassis.
Yeah, and that was just a very nice run from both of these guys. Gert lacking the proximity in his chase, but overall, a very good balanced run from both of these drivers here. See Cameron Mustard putting on a masterclass of a chase. That transition on the back bumper though.
Just absolutely fantastic showing from both of these drivers. Just incredible performance.
Yeah, an incredible performance indeed from both of these drivers. They're doing the best they can and pushing the hardest they can. So one little mistake and it could be over. So we do have a judging call, so we will send to judging screen, and here we go. Swipe them left for Gert Kubarsep, swipe them right for Cameron Mustard, and unanimous decision. Cameron Mustard gets the win, and he'll be moving on to the top 8, where Gert Kubarsep will have to go home. And next we have, it will be, I think, Barna versus Jack O'Farrell.
Barna Pagazdi, probably the hardest last name I've ever had to pronounce in this series, versus Jack O'Farrell.
No, the Sevalod, I think that takes
Sevalod, yeah, that one definitely takes the cake for Sevalod. That last round there, that one was impossible to pronounce with an English-speaking tongue.
Yeah, you know, because your tongue changes depending on where you're from.
You know what I mean. Listen, you don't gotta make me seem stupid, alright? I'm not Jared Dienda. I'm not dumb up here. I know what I'm talking about, alright? Barna Pagazdi in the lead position. That S14, big angle here. Transitioning into outside clips 2 and 3 with Jack O'Farrell right on the door, putting that pressure on through that section of the course. We love to see it. Absolutely love to see these guys go at it here. Jack O'Farrell right there on that outside line with not a ton of angle there in that section. Barna Pagazdi doing a fantastic job here in the lead position. That's what I was talking about. Jack O'Farrell doing a really great job in that chase position. Pulling up for the second lap here. Barna Pagazdi in the chase now. Jack O'Farrell in the lead. Jack sending it in. Big initiation. Nice big angle here with Barna Pagazdi in the chase position now, putting the pressure on, leaning right up on that front wheel, just trying to keep that proximity going. But Jack O'Farrell, ooh, big straighten up from Barna Pagazdi. Just trying to keep the proximity, but Jack O'Farrell seems to have turned against him here. Jack O'Farrell running a beautiful lead line so far. Barna not quite happy about that, what just happened, and is finishing out quite aggressively. Gonna be turning around here in a second, man. Jack O'Farrell possibly an advantage to that second run. That was one hell of a run here. I don't have Alex here to talk about his thoughts on it, but I mean, definitely, I mean, you can see that,
It's amazing.
yeah. I mean, Jack O'Farrell doing a fantastic job in the chase, but look at that.
Yeah.
A little bit of an issue from Pagazdi as he didn't have a ton of angle through that section, but hey, you know what? Doing a fantastic job. Otherwise, both of these guys doing a great job. Jack O'Farrell, his lead run was pretty textbook. Big transitions here, getting it out or two, looking fantastic. Look at that, firing it up around the hill. Barna right here. This is the big mistake. Was that a straight? And that'll be what the judges are looking at. If that's a straight, and that's a 0 and an easy win for Jack O'Farrell. But if not, then it could be a mistake way to put a weight against the others. We'll have to take it over to the judges screen here in a moment and see what they've decided.
Very nice lead there. Nice chase.
Waiting on a call from the judges. Jack O'Farrell, Barna Pagazdi, both of these guys doing fantastic runs, but definitely some mistakes in between, and these guys are going to be looking at it with a fine-tooth comb, trying to decide who made the most of mistakes and who comes home with the win here.
Yeah, it's going to be a very daunting thing for these judges to judge. And they love to take their sweet old time.
I'd like to thank the 30 some odd viewers that have decided to show up and watch the stream. So sorry it's quiet right now, but we're waiting on a decision from the judges because I swear they like to take 15 minutes per call. Just to chillax and smoke a cigar or something, I don't know.
Okay, there we go.
Barna oh wow, immediate swipe right. You wish they were actually that fast. Jack O'Farrell gets the win. We'll be moving on to the top 8, which means I believe we'll be getting into our last battle of the top 16. Barna Pagaz, or not, we just saw Barna Pagazdi. The names haven't changed yet. Ernests versus Kieran Bond. These guys, fantastic drivers. Ernests super consistent, but Kieran Bond has definitely been proving himself at this round today. So it'll be interesting to see who takes the cake here and who gets to move on to top 8. There we go, big initiation for Ernests here. Look at that big wide swing. Kieran Bond taking advantage of it, diving in up onto the front wheel at S14. Coming onto that outside clip here. Ernests doing a fantastic job in the lead position. Kieran Bond, nosing in, lunging up really tight on that tight line, just putting his
doing it again
in front of Ernests. Look at this, lunging up onto him, putting the pressure on, finishing out the run stronger. Both of these drivers. I'm not sure what was going on with Kieran Bond there. He was just being overly aggressive, I think.
Yeah, of course. These guys pushing as hard as possible. So he's turned a new page here. He's trying to be as aggressive as possible. He knows Ernests is a big force.
Here we go, Kieran Bond. Let's see how he does in the lead position. Ernests did a fantastic job. Big initiation right there. Ernests right with him. Kieran Bond doing a fantastic job in the lead position, but Ernests is getting right there on him. Look at that, putting it right in the pocket of where he needs to place his perfectly poised vehicle. We love alliteration here. Kieran Bond doing a fantastic job. A bit of a correction there. He's going to have to put it up onto the wall there. Fantastic job.
I want to see that entry again.
Kieran Bond, man, that was crazy.
That entry, that was insane from both drivers. Just look at that transition. Kieran Bond a bit closer here. He does have a bit more proximity than Ernests did in the first half, but coming through here, that was just insane. That dive, it's like he just didn't let off and just let the car drive forward. And the same here, throwing that big angle, pushing Ernests out there, pushing him into the outer clips. And then you see this initiation side by side, and Ernests just diving in onto the door. You can see running the same line, so not having as much proximity as Kieran when he was cutting the line on transition, but Ernests just clinically pushing Kieran Bond around the track. But this is going to be a nice judging call for these judges. But you see that over rotation, that might become a big factor there. Pulls it back, but yeah.
Here we go, swipe him left for Ernests, swipe him right for Kieran Bond. That's 1, 2, 3. Ernests gets the win. And Kieran Bond will unfortunately have to pack it up and head home there. Well, I guess he is already at home. Sim is somewhere outside. I don't know, man. That's a little weird, Kieran Bond. But here we go. We'll send it over to Alex. He'll read out your top 8. Then we'll cut to a short ad break when we get everybody loaded up.
Yeah, so your top 8 is Darius versus Danielas Pangauskas, a big battle there, and then Daniel Andreev versus Anthony Taylor, Mark O'Rourke versus Cameron Mustard, so that's Ireland versus Scotland. And then you got Jack O'Farrell versus Ernests Jacoboulos. All these battles are top heavyweight battles, so let's see what they can do in the top 8.
Girl tonight.
Skirt on, my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
tonight.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the excitement you have all been waiting for. We are starting to get down to the nitty gritty. This is the top 8. We have some of the best drivers of today, all fighting for that top spot. And this is where it starts to get really exciting. Darius Ostreka, Danielas Parangauskas ready to take off for their runs.
Yeah, and it's going to be a very heavy hitter battle. Both of these guys are contending for championships. All of these guys can have the chance to win rounds. So it's going to be very interesting to see one of these guys that can win a round get knocked out.
Danielas Parangauskas chasing in Darius Ostreka. Darius throwing it in, big initiation. Danielas Parangauskas on the door of Darius Ostreka, pushing that proximity on those IRT guys going up against him. Look at that fantastic driving from Darius Ostreka in the lead position, but Danielas Parangauskas not giving him an inch. Getting right up onto the door, transitioning, lunging up. Look at that lunge, that fierce lunge up onto the door of Darius Ostreka. But was it enough? I don't think so. I think that Danielas didn't quite have that proximity to that last section there. So he's going to have to make up for some of those mistakes on the lead position. Let's see if Darius Ostreka can return the chase favor here. This is going to be good.
Getting a big jump.
Here we go. Danielas Parangauskas now in the lead position. Darius Ostreka in the chase. Danielas ready to flick it in. Big initiation. We love to see it, but Darius right there on
Oh my God.
Danielas doing a fantastic job in the lead position. But Darius Ostreka, do not count him out yet. He's right there. That proximity is absolutely nuts here. Look at that. Outside zone 4 looking fantastic here as Darius Ostreka does a fantastic job. Danielas is doing a fantastic lead run here. Darius Ostreka will not give him any room, finishing out the battle. Absolutely fantastic. I imagine we're going to be here for the next like 20 minutes deciding who wins the battle.
Yep. So grab a cup of coffee, turn on some Netflix, or be there with a decision. But amazing run from these two guys. Danielas pouring on the angle and pressure there, just pushing him around the course on the back bumper, diving in onto the transition, but Darius making a bit of a correction, lowering the angle, and Danielas getting left for dead because of that. But Darius on the door on that initiation, on the back bumper, dives straight back onto the door. He's like, I'm coming for you, buddy, and he gets around and pushes him down this hill, and he has no fear. He just pushes him. He goes down into the place where people normally decel, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go full speed, and like he's just pushing him across the line. That was an amazing showing from both of these drivers, and let's hope the judges have a quick, sharp decision. As we wait.
Absolutely fantastic showing from both of these guys. The judges have a lot on their hands for these two. These guys are two of the most consistent drivers of the series. Absolutely fantastic job from the both of them.
It's just amazing how close these guys are getting to each other. And of course, still waiting here. There we go, swiping left for
Alrighty.
Darius, the striker, swiping right for Danielas. And Danielas Parangauskas gets the win, and he takes out the giant Darius Striker. And that's going to be a big upset here.
Absolutely fantastic showing from these guys. We'll be moving on to the next battle of our top 8, which is going to be, I mean, I think this is going to be the best battle of the day. This is going to be one hell of a run. Anthony Taylor versus Daniel Andreev. Anthony Taylor rolling up to the line is going to be chasing Daniel Andreev. This has the potential to be a barn burner here. That Zone 1 Performance E92. Daniel Andreev in that IRT S15. This is going to be a heater. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy what is about to be what I think is going to be the best battle of the night. Daniel Andreev in the lead position, that IRT S15. Anthony Taylor,
Nice
here we go,
initiation.
pushing that proximity right on transition. Bumper! Putting that proximity on. Daniel Andreev in the lead position, but Anthony Taylor just will not back down. He knows he's going to bring the heat to take down the giant that is Daniel Andreev. Look at that proximity! Literally rubbing wheels with each other. I'm surprised they haven't hit each other just yet. Anthony Taylor losing a little bit of ground, but Daniel Andreev there finishing out the run. Damn, what a battle! What did I tell you, people? What did I tell you, folks? This was going to be the best battle of the night. Daniel Andreev dropping a little bit of angle. It looks like he was trying to run away on Anthony Taylor, which is a little bit unfortunate. But Anthony Taylor about to put on a clinic in the lead position, and Daniel Andreev about to chase him down. This is going to be insane. Anthony Taylor setting it in right there on that A-line. Beautiful lead run so far. Daniel Andreev nosing up with that lunge, putting it right into the door of that Zone 1 Performance BMW E92. Look at this, sticking it right to him is Daniel Andreev, but Anthony Taylor is throwing down a heater of a lead run right there on that A-line, exactly where he wants to be. Look at that angle as he carries it up the hill. Daniel Andreev, though, right with fantastic job from both of these guys, man.
Amazing.
I've got a clip for Instagram later, and it's going to be this battle, absolutely, man.
Oh yeah, and that was one hell of a transition for Anthony Taylor there. Just
Absolutely
diving in
fantastic.
onto the door, and that was amazing. Just pushing him
Masterclass
around.
of chase driving. The only time I think that Anthony fell back was after Daniel Andreev attempted to run away from him at the end of the course here. You can see right here, he transitions, and Daniel Andreev just drops a ton of angle and starts running away. And he just has no answer for it. Anthony just loses quite a bit of speed there.
Yeah,
That
nice
is
initiation there.
unfortunate. But I
Just
mean, hey, I
diving
think if
into
I
the
had
middle.
to give it to anybody, I mean, I'd say Anthony's probably running the cleaner runs here. Just absolutely fantastic in terms of the chase driving ability to keep that massive heavy car on the door of that IRT S15. Definitely something being done to those cars to make them so friggin' fast. So having Anthony do an absolutely fantastic job in the lead position is just so cool to see. And the chase driving, just awesome to see it. But hey, you know what, Daniel Andreev super consistent, and we know why he's such a good driver in this series. You know, he's definitely got that consistency under him, and he's very quick. He's very talented in knowing what to do during these runs. But I don't know, man, these guys definitely making it hard for the judges. Alex, what are your thoughts so far on this battle?
It's just insane, these guys entering basically the same, but that there's just a moment for Anthony Taylor diving in onto the door like that of Daniel Andreev, just sticking it to him, wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper, coming around here. And you can see this transition. Anthony throws big angle, but as you said, Daniel Andreev throwing low, shallow angle. So that's a big deciding factor there for the judges. And I think they will capitalize upon that. Maybe could be a one more time at this point, but we won't know until the judges let us know.
I'm left speechless, man. This battle is like, this is only the top 8.
And we have a
This is a
decision.
finals level battle. This should be a finals level battle, but we have a decision, so we'll take it over to the judges' screen, and here we go. Swipe him left for Daniel Andreev, swipe him right for Anthony Taylor, Rise, Arctic's Tire. What are they going to decide? One more time from Rise. Arctic's, it's a split decision. They're going one more time. Anthony Taylor and Daniel Andreev, they're going to go at it again. Anthony Taylor is going to see if he can keep that consistency up. Same with Daniel Andreev. That's the thing. Consistency creates champions. You got to be able to step it up. That was already quite high level, so hopefully one of these drivers can step up to the plate and take down the other. Both of these guys are giants of the series. Absolutely fantastic, consistent drivers. So I'm so excited to see. I told you guys. I told them. What did I tell them, Alex? I told them this was going to be the battle of the night. This is going to be one hell of a fight, and now we get to see them go at it again, and they're both going to turn it up. They're going to dial it up. They were already at 10. They're going to dial it up to 11, possibly even 12. I don't know. All the numbers in the numbers category, everything that they can do, they're going to whip out right here. All the tools in the bag, all the tricks of the trade. Let's see it. Daniel Andreev in the lead position, Anthony Taylor in the chase position. Daniel Andreev setting it in. Big initiation, drops the tire of that white line. And sticking right to him. Look at that. Stepping it up right there on the door. There's a bit of ground here, but he drops that angle and sticks right with him. Grabbing that tire all
There it
over
is
the side
again.
of IRT. Look at that. Lunging up. He knows what he's got to do this time. Transitioning. Lunging up. Anthony Taylor right on the door of Daniel Andreev, getting up towards the wall, and that is that. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Taylor doing everything that he can. And that was exactly what you want to see out of an OMT. The OMT is like, whenever you get it one more time, it's the judges saying, you know what, you guys were so close to each other, or you guys made a ton of, like, a couple of mistakes. So we want to see it better. We want to see you guys step it up. And that is exactly what Anthony Taylor did. He took any of his mistakes from the first run and fixed them entirely. So now it comes down to the lead. Anthony Taylor, lead position, big initiation. Daniel Andreev right with him, sticking to the door of that Zone 1 performance. BMW E92. Anthony Taylor, look at this, all the way through. Daniel Andreev, fire in the door.
Oh my God.
Insane. Anthony Taylor doing a fantastic lead position run, but Daniel Andreev won't back down, straight with him. Look at this, finishing out the run. What a battle. What did I tell you? This is the battle of the night. I'm calling it right now. I don't care who's in the finals. I don't care how we're doing. Anthony Taylor versus Daniel Andreev is the battle everyone's going to be talking about. I don't care who takes it at this point. This is fantastic. Anthony Taylor and Daniel Andreev both fixing every mistake that they had in that first run. If they thought the judges had a hard job on the first run, this is going to be even worse for them. I don't even care, man.
That dive, that was just insane. Holy, oh my God.
Absolutely fantastic. Both of these drivers have earned it. If they, whoever wins, both of them have taken it. Absolutely fantastic. This is exactly why I love to be part of the SVDS team, because we get runs like this. Zone 1, Anthony Taylor, fantastic job in the lead and the chase, but Daniel Andreev not backing down. I mean, we have got two giants going up against each other. The thunderous clap of them as they go at each other and hit blow for blow, car for car, tire to tire. Look at this, just absolutely fantastic. You hear the rumbling in the air as these guys go at it with every thundering hit that they can possibly throw at each other. Just fantastic from both of these guys. Even the chat's dumbfounded. Even the chat can't even make a decision. They say they can't call it. It's way too close. I feel like those guys from the first race in Cars. Remember that movie? Remember Cars? The very first race when they did the three-way tie. I'm like, it's too close to call. You know, like it is. It's way too close to call. Man, it's just absolutely insane. It's there's only two drivers on track, but here's me believing that this might be a three-way tie. I don't know, man. Like, oh man, and what's best about this too is that thanks to virtual drifting, there are no mechanical failures. So even though we are pushing these cars to their absolute limit every time they go out there, you know damn well that they will not break. So they can keep pushing this hard, and we'll never see a mechanical failure unless one of their sim setups breaks. But that's highly unlikely, especially considering both of these guys, I think, are on some pretty impressive hardware. So This is just, wow, what a battle. Ladies and gentlemen, in the comments, please leave down below who do you think you want to take it. I don't think there's an actual guess in terms of actual, like, scoring here, how you can actually, like, see who's going to take it. But, I mean, like, who do you want to win? Like, Daniel Andreev, definitely a fantastic driver, but Anthony Taylor, possibly a little bit of an underdog compared to him. Who do you want to take it home? Drop it below. Is it going to be Anthony Taylor or Daniel Andreev? This is absolutely phenomenal. Just absolutely speechless. I cannot, man.
Speechless. I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore.
Absolutely fantastic. And again, this is exactly what you want out of a one more time. Again, the one more times are so that you can elevate, step it up, fix any mistakes you made in the past run. And both of these guys did exactly that. They took every mistake they made in the previous run and just doubled down and fixed them. They did so much better. I mean, Anthony Taylor lost the ground in that chase position at the end of the run. He fixed it in the second run. You know, that's the point of the OMT. And I think if I had to pick any driver out of this battle that did the most improvement, it was Anthony Taylor. And even then, they were already so fantastic in the first run. So I don't know. This is crazy. Waiting on a decision from the judges. This is going to be absolutely nuts. I mean, whatever they choose, somebody's going to be upset and somebody's going to be cheering their butts off. I mean, like I said, like, you may not have paid for your seat, but you're still going to only use the edge of it. Just crazy, man.
Yeah, it's just nothing to say other than wait for this call. And there is a call.
Oh man, here we go.
Still waiting for one more.
Waiting for one more judge. This is just, wow, what a battle. SVDS, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, hit subscribe, head over to svds.com. ScotishVirtualDriftSeries.com and get yourself some tickets to enter next season, because I feel like if anybody wants to think that they can go up against these guys, you got to put your money where your mouth is. Go get yourself some tickets for next season. I don't know if they're actually live yet. I don't think they are, but make sure that you have that website bookmarked for when they do go live, because this is a dog fight, and I think anybody would be lucky to be a part of this. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot wait for this, dude. And it only gets better from here. The production value, the drivers, the track, everything. It gets better with every round. Everybody steps it up. The level continues to increase. It's like when you're it's like when you're at the gym and you're trying to, like, get better every time. You know, you get that extra rep in. You know, you climb that extra step. You get that extra mile on the treadmill. You know, every time you get better, and every time it shows. We're over here this season. This series has been working out tirelessly, trying to get better. And I mean, the drivers, they are doing the work, man. They are putting in the work to just show up and show out and show everybody a good time.
I don't know if we have a decision yet, and let's just waiting for one more judge.
We are still waiting for Rise here. He's the last judge that hasn't made a decision yet. Daniel Andreev and Anthony Taylor, just, man, both of these guys just not backing down. I mean, at this point, we've been waiting for a call so long that even these replays are starting to get repetitive, but I can watch this battle all day. What did I tell you guys? This was going to be the barn burner of the entire round. Daniel Andreev, Anthony Taylor, finally swipe him left for Daniel Andreev, swipe him right for Anthony Taylor. Rise says one more time. Arctic says, Daniel Andreev. Tyres says, one more time. They're going at it again, ladies and gentlemen. We spent that long to realize that we're going to get to see this absolute treat of a battle for a third time. Daniel Andreev, Anthony Taylor. I don't know how you could elevate possibly after that battle. That was just absolutely insane. I don't understand how this has gone so many OMTs. I mean, this is going to be crazy. Daniel Andreev, Anthony Taylor, they've got to step it up once again. They were decent in the first run. They stepped it up for the second run, and now Now they've got to find something. They were at 99.9%. This will come down to whoever can find that last 0.01% that is left in these cars, in their rigs, in their everything, in their tunes, their setups, their technique, everything. They've got
going to do something special.
Here we go. Daniela Dre in the lead position. That IRTS 15. Beautiful job. Anthony Taylor transitioning. Oh, bit of contact. Anthony Taylor lunging up anyways. He knows that was still there. That's fine. He's pushing it right there on the door, pushing it through outside zone 4. Nosing in. Look at that lunge. I can't believe it. Gonna get to the
Did he do it again? And he does.
Anthony Taylor lunging up, finding the proximity and pushing up, practically pushing up through the last section of the course. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Taylor and Daniel Andreev, my mind, it's blown. I can't do this anymore. And we still have a second lap to go. Anthony Taylor in the lead, Daniel Andreev in the chase. That Zone 1 E92 ready to take down that IRTS 15. We had a little bit of contact in the first round, but that's okay. Anthony Taylor looking at Daniel Andreev initiating right on the door, taking it slow to that transition, but Anthony Taylor not taking anything slow. He has matted that gas pedal down. He's duct taped it, zip tied, and bias flies all the way down to that floor, and he is sending it as hard as he can. Beautiful job through these outside clips. Daniel Andreev right there on the door. Anthony Taylor, though, putting down one hell of a lead line, and it's all ladies and gentlemen. This is only the top 8. This is only the second battle of the top 8. We still have, let's see, we got 2 more in the top 8. We got 2 more in the top 4. We've got another 3rd place battle. We've got a 1st place battle. So somewhere in the vicinity of like 6 or 8 battles left to go. And we're already reaching the peak. This is absolutely fantastic. We have crested Mount Everest. We've stabbed our pole into the top of that thing. And we have absolutely showed up here. Anthony Taylor, Daniel Andreev about to go ham here. Well, they did go ham. That's it. This is OMT number 2. This is their 3rd battle. I can't,
and this is their final one more time. They can't go one more time anymore, so they have to pick a winner. So this is going to be interesting. I feel like we're going to be here for another 20 minutes.
That's crazy. I'm hoping that the judges see it differently, because Anthony Taylor is saying in the chat that the scrape between the transition and that first run was not as bad as it looked on stream. Because yeah, right here on stream, it does look like it kind of bounces a little bit, which is a little bit funky, a little bit weird, but I hope that the judges saw what Anthony's seeing for sure. I'm so excited, man.
Jesus Christ, it's only top 8.
It's only top 8.
I'm already seeing the best runs.
What a phenomenal battle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't shared this series to your friends yet, if you haven't told everybody, sang it from the mountaintops about SVDS, you need to share the links, share everything, you know, invite people to the server, show people the stream. Absolutely, just give it your all, send it to everybody, make sure that everybody knows that the action is right here. Scottish Virtual Drift Series. Who would have guessed that so much action would come out of a tiny little drift track in Scotland there?
Yeah, no one believed in this little track, and it did its thing for a whole season, and it's back again. You know, Series 2's come back even stronger. Drivers have got better and better. People are still doubting, but we're continuing to put their doubts under the floor and prove them wrong here at SVDS. As you can see, these drivers putting it door to door on every single corner. There is no place where you want to see this more at Driftland, you know, because this is literally the only drift track, dedicated drift track in Europe so far, and this is crazy. We're waiting, still waiting for Battle I'm excited to see is Cameron Mustard versus Mark O'Rourke. As we know, Cameron Mustard is fighting for another win. But yeah, it seems like we have a decision, so here we go. Swipe him left for Daniel Andreev, swipe him right for Anthony Taylor. And here we go. 1, 2, and 3. It's unanimous. Daniel Andreev gets the win, and sadly Anthony Taylor gets knocked down the third one more time. But not to be shamed, as he did an amazing job in the one more time battles.
Absolutely. Anthony Taylor pulling out a fantastic performance, and I could not be happier to see him drive at his best. I mean, that man has absolutely peaked so far. That's not to say he won't keep going up. I just mean that as of right now, this is the best he's been, and he will continue to get better. Anthony Taylor doing a fantastic job against Daniel Andreev. Probably, maybe should have won the first OMT, but we won't talk about that, and we also won't talk about that massive friggin' voice crack that I just did. Listen, I've been screaming my head off for the last 3 OMTs.
Does that sound like SpongeBob?
Floor it! Anthony will laugh at that. Floor it! Floor it!
And there we go. Cameron Mustard versus Marco O'Rourke.
Floor it! Here we go. Marco O'Rourke in the chase position. Cameron Mustard in the lead position. Cameron Mustard coming off his win last. Will he be able to continue? Let's see. Cameron Mustard, beautiful job in those outside zones, but Marco O'Rourke not giving him an inch. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Door rubbing it on that jab speed.
Look at this.
Fantastic transitioning here. Cameron Mustard doing a fantastic position. Marco O'Rourke nosing up. Little bit of a tap. Almost went off there as Cameron Mustard, but fixing it and continuing the run. Absolutely fantastic job. But I don't think, I feel bad for these guys because they have to follow up on one of the craziest battles we've had all season, to be fair. I think the Anthony Taylor versus Daniel Andreev battle has been the craziest one all season.
Saying that,
I'm going to call it right now.
We might have the craziest chase right here, I think.
Right here, Cameron Mustard going to be chasing in Mark O'Rourke, that A80 Supra, ready to lead him in. Cameron Mustard right there, not quite as close as we'd like to see him in that first corner, but getting right up on the A80 Supra, pushing the proximity as best as he can. Look at that, just absolute perfection from Cameron Mustard.
Look at that.
He knows what he's been doing. He's driven at this track so many times before. He is absolutely an expert. Look at that, pushing Mark O'Rourke through the finish line.
God.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. It does. If Anthony Taylor's on track, it does in fact get better than this.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird initiation there from Mark O'Rourke, cutting the track completely on the inside. But you can see both had about the same proximity coming through here. Both were tapping each other. A bit of a tap there from Mark O'Rourke's, offsetting Cameron Mustard there, but didn't do too much. A bit of a tap here as well, but nothing too big. A nice chase and lead there. You can see Cameron Mustard dialing it in, and Mark O'Rourke, nice initiation. Very nice from them two there. Nice transition there. Keeping it nice and clean, nice and conservative, but putting on the pressure here. That's what you want to see. No taps, no nothing. You want to see nice clean and just railing around that corner. Diving on the transition, gaining that proximity slowly but surely, getting on the door and crossing the line. But both guys doing an amazing job. But there's only one winner in this battle. As you can see, that proximity from Cameron Mustard was just amazing, insane, and out of this world there. That's probably the closest we've seen someone down there at the bottom of the track. So they're going to be very happy about that. The judges are going to applaud that. But Mark O'Rourke, nice transition diving in there. You can see, doing a great job as usual. Still waiting for a decision here. And then we go, we have a decision. Swipe him left for Makarok, swipe him right for Cameron Mustard. And here we go, 1 for Makarok, 2 and 3. It's unanimous. Makarok will get the win, and sadly Cameron Mustard will be knocked out in the top 8, and Makarok will be moving on to the top 4. So next we have Jack O'Farrell versus Ernests Jakubowicz. And this is going to be a very interesting battle here. Two big and two different drivers. They both have different driving styles, and they both are heavy hitters.
Sorry guys, my mic was having some technical difficulties. I was trying to get it working again. My bad. We are back. Jack O'Farrell and Ernests Jakubowicz. These guys are incredible. Here we go, Ernests Jakubowicz, Jack O'Farrell, Jack getting a bit of a gap hold on him through those cones, but he's gonna reel him in here, initiating nice and smart right behind him. We love to see that. Ernests Jakubowicz doing a fantastic job in the lead position so far, but Jack O'Farrell not gonna back down. He knows he's got a giant to slay, just like Anthony did with Daniel. Jack is about to take down Ernests Jakubowicz. At least he wants to, as he knows he's in that super heavy lugs. We love to see it. That R32 following in that S14, losing a bit of ground here, trying to push up towards the wall, finishing at the run stronger, both of these guys, and we're excited to see him go the other way around here. Here we go, Jack O'Farrell in the lead position. Ernests Jakubowicz down in the chase here, ready to flick it in. Jack sends it in. Whoa! Big nose-to-nose initiation from Ernests Jakubowicz. Jack Farrell getting nice and deep onto those outside clips, sending it up to outside clip 3 and coming back down the hill. Ernests just stuck to the door of that R32. Jack O'Farrell doing a fantastic job in the lead position. Maybe a little bit shallow on some of those outside clips. This could spell defeat for him, but Ernests just doing a fantastic job in the chase. But Jack O'Farrell still doing a good job in the lead position. I just mean that, like, you know, it's definitely a toss-up for sure between these two guys. Definitely both fantastic drivers, and everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, 100%, and a nice run from these two guys. Jack O'Farrell getting on the door here. Maybe losing a bit of procs in some places, but diving in here onto the front bumper of Ernests. But nice transition for here, but he don't seem to have the speed to keep up with Ernests. As you see him trying to dial off the angle, trying to keep up, but sadly couldn't get there. And here we go, Jack Farrell's lead. Nice initiation, A-line there, but Ernests just on the back bumper. Maybe a little tap from Ernests there on the transition, but it seems to be all fine after that. Ernests just pushing him across the line and going around, and it's a very nice battle there. And it looks like we have a decision. We don't have a decision yet. That was just me being blind. But yeah, as I was saying, these two pushing hard. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a tap there. I do not know. But we'll find out.
Absolutely phenomenal showing from these guys. Jack O'Farrell doing a great job with that R32. But Jakubowicz doing a fantastic job. That S14 always dialed in, always ready to go. It's super impressive to see these guys go at it so hard, you know. Absolutely sick to see. The judges definitely going to be splitting hairs on this one for sure.
100%.
Just waiting here for a call from the judges. Definitely a very close one to call, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that after this battle, we move on to our top 4. That is where things get real. Because everybody in the top 4, despite it only being 2 battles and 4 people, they are fighting for the finals. They are trying to get into that top battle so that they can fight for that win. So final 4 is where things get really spicy. Spicy meatball. They get absolutely insane in final 4, and it is such an insane thing to see. Yeah, we can we're gonna pull up the bracket here. We'll have Alex read it out since he'll actually be able to read it. Oh. Whoa, we might have just given away the winner, to be fair. Yep, I think we might have just given away the winner. So you'll see here, unfortunately for Jack O'Farrell, I think we're about to see 1, 2, and 3 slide over to the right there for Ernests Jakubelis. Yep, you'll see them slide here in just a moment. And yeah, there it is. Oh, not a unanimous decision, but Ernests Jakubelis does take the win. Unfortunately, we accidentally spoiled the winner. Gotta love that. Let's maybe not do that towards the finals. But unfortunately for Jack O'Farrell, top 8 is where his journey ends. But hey, it was one hell of a push and one hell of a journey. So very happy for Jack O'Farrell, but our top 4 is shaping up like this. Danielas Parangauskis versus Daniel Andreev on the left side. On the right side, you have Mark O'Rourke versus Ernests Jakubelis. These guys are absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see how these guys go. Mark O'Rourke taking out Cameron Mustard for his last battle there. That was really awesome to see, and it's going to be interesting because all of these guys are super heavy hitters. We've got 2 IRT teammates going at it for their final 4 battle. We had one of these last event too, if I remember correctly. We had Daniel Andreev versus Vitaly Isev, who unfortunately did not show up today. So today we have Daniel Andreev versus Danielas Parangauskis. Not to say that Danielas is only here because Vitaly wasn't. I mean, Danielas is one hell of a driver as well, and he's definitely proved it today, having beaten every single battle up until this point. But can he take down his teammate? That is the big question.
Yeah, it'll be a good question to ask. So let's see if they can do it. Waiting for them to line up.
Daniel Parangauskis is going to be in the lead position, and Daniel Andreev in the chase. This is the final four, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it gets crazy. I mean, you want to talk about crazy? Two teammates right here, Daniel Andreev, Danielas Parangauskis, both on the IRT team. Both of these guys drive together all the time, which I imagine is going to make these judging calls quite a bit longer. You didn't think they could get longer, but these battles are about to get so close that things are to get wild. Danielas Parangauskis and Daniel Andreev, here we go. The lights go red, the lights go green, and these drivers are about to send it here at Driftland. Any day now. I just appreciate that these guys, their first names are practically the same. You got Daniel and Danielas.
Yep.
Basically, Danielas' name is just Daniel with 3 letters added on. That's funny. But here we go. Daniel Andreev in the lead position. Danielas Parangauskis in the chase. We'll get ready to send him here in a moment. This is going to be a heater. Two teammates. Always the best battles when you see two guys who drive together all the time go up against each other because they finally get to show off all of that practice that they do together. Go. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go. Green. Here we go. Daniel Andreev in the lead position. That IRT S15 to lean in. The other IRT vehicle, that F22, to chase the man. Daniel Andreev, beautiful initiation, big angle, nice and wide. You love to see it. Danielas Parangauskis right there on the back bumper of that S15, transitioning right with him and sticking with him through this entire hill section. Daniel Andreev, though, running a fantastic lead run, but Danielas not backing down. He says, buddy, I know you're my teammate, but I'm not going to let you stand in the way of anything that I'm about to do here today. Danielas is absolutely pushing him through that section of the course. Fantastic run from them, and they're about to switch it up. I appreciate, though, that if you think about it, whoever wins this battle, there's going to be an IRT car on the podium.
Well, yeah, no matter what.
Absolutely. Here we go. Danielas Parangauskis and Daniel Andreev transitioning in, sending it. Beautiful job from Danielas. We love to see those creations. But here we go. Daniel Andreev sticking it right onto the door of that chase position. Definitely not an easy position to be in. And he's sticking it right there on the door of that IRT F22. Beautiful job from Danielas as they come through these outside clips. Absolutely fantastic showing from Daniel Andreev. I told you guys, these guys drive together all the time. Fantastic run from both of these guys. Danielas Parangauskis and Daniel Andreev, everybody. Give them a virtual round of applause.
Yeah, 100%. These guys doing everything they can to solidify a chance. You see there, Danielas getting onto the door, maybe not being as deep as Daniel, but still there. And then here you go, matching angle and line, diving up onto that front bumper, but keeping it there, a bit of a tap there, but coming through the transition. Very nice on the back rear quarter panel, but slowly creeping up to the door and goes across the line. So you see here on the second half of this battle, nice initiation there from Daniel Andreev. But yeah, you can see it's the exact same battle. But yeah, there's a lot of things to count on with these guys. You can see a nice initiation from Daniel Andreev as usual. He really gets that initiation dialed there, and I think that's what gets him an extra few points here. But you can see a bit lower angle there, and I think Danielas had the cleaner chase through this part, but tapping Danielas here. Danielas a bit choppy on the angle coming through that section, but as he comes through here, he stays nice and smooth and committed onto the wall.
Alrighty, we should be taking over to the decisions here. Swiping left for Danielas Parangowskis, swiping right for Daniel Andreev. Which IRT member is going to be on the podium? It's going to be Danielas Parangowskis. That F22 going to be moving on to the finals. Daniel Andreev going to still have a chance here, but keep in mind that the loser of these top 4 battles still gets a shot at a podium. They just have to battle for it, you know? Still get a shot at 3rd place, but here we go. This is going to be an interesting battle. Mark O'Rourke and oh man, this is going to be a battle. Mark O'Rourke and Ernests Jacobs, man. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. See the lights go red, lights go green. Ernests Jacobs in the lead position. Mark O'Rourke in the chase. That A80 Supra going to follow in that S14. Big transition, nicely done. Big initiation. Mark O'Rourke was right there, lunging up onto the door of that S14. Ernests Jacobs, look at this, very solid coming up through this outside clip. Right there on the back fender is Mark O'Rourke. He says, my boy, you cannot stop me. Mark O'Rourke is right there. He is not about to back down. He wants that guaranteed podium. He's going to try and win this battle with everything he's got, and that chase was exactly everything he's got. Ernests Jacobs going to be sticking it right to the back door of that A80 Supra. Hopefully, he's going to need to if he wants to pull out a win here. Mark O'Rourke going to make an absolutely fantastic lead run. Here we go. Mark O'Rourke in the lead position. Ernests Jacobs in the chase position. Here we go. Big initiation from Mark O'Rourke right there on the edge of the course. Ernests, bumper to bumper transition. Right there on the back of Mark O'Rourke's bumper here. Also the same thing, nosing in, practically pushing that back corner of that car around. Look at this though, losing a bit of angles. Ernests Jacobs as Mark O'Rourke. Ooh, there it is. Possibly a bit of contact there, or maybe it was just lag. Mark O'Rourke looking fantastic crossing that line, and Ernests Jacobs also following him really closely. This is insane.
Yeah, 100% in these drivers pushing as hard as possible. That entry was insane from Mark O'Rourke there. Just pushing in as hard as possible. And making sure he tries to get the win here. Nice proximity coming through here. Matching the angle. Very nice on the back bumper in transition. Leaves a bit of space, dives in, and then carries that proximity across the line. As you see in Ernestes' chase here. Nice side-by-side initiation. Basically the same as Mark was, a bit cleaner. And you come through here, it's a bit closer than Mark was through this section, but right here I think that Mark was like an inch closer if you're picking at hairs, but this is the big bit here, and that's not matching angle, but he does have a better dive here onto the last corner and does keep better proximity throughout most of the run, but sacrificing a bit of angle, so it's sort of toe-to-toe, head-to-head here, so you really got to think who really deserves the win here.
An absolutely fantastic battle. Reminder, whoever wins this goes up against Danielas Parangowskis in the finals. Will be Mark O'Rourke, be Ernests Jacobs. Leave your guesses in the comments in the live chat below. Who do you think is going to take the win home today? Linus Tornquist says he thinks that Mark O'Rourke's going to take this home. Let's hope you're right, Linus. I mean, I think Mark O'Rourke has definitely earned it, but here we go. Swipe him left for Mark O'Rourke. Swipe him right for Ernests Jacobs. Who is it going to be? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and unfortunately, Linus, we got to disappoint you because Ernests Jacobs did it better and won the battle. He's going to go up against Mr. Danielas Parangowskis for the win, but Mark O'Rourke's not out yet. He's got a shot at a podium if he can take down Daniel Andreev. That's the battle we'll be moving on to now. Now, keep in mind, as we move into the podium battles, we will not be announcing the winners as we will be waiting for that. If we get a decision and it's an OMT, that we will tell you, obviously, because you'll see the drivers go up again. But whoever wins, we aren't going to tell you who takes the cake, because we are going to wait until we get everybody together into that final group, and we actually announce it with the drivers in presence. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your third place battle. Daniel Andreev, Marco Rourke. This is about to get intense. These guys are fighting for a third place podium. They said, hey, you know what? We might have lost that last battle, but we're going to get that podium. That's what they're both saying to themselves in their head. Daniel Andreev, Marco Rourke, ready to go. Here we go. You'll see the lights go red. They'll go green. And you'll see Daniel Andreev take off to lead in Marco Rourke. Here we go. Daniel Andreev, Marco Rourke, the battle for third place. Who's going to take it? Daniel Andreev, big initiation, big angle. Marco Rourke sticking right with him, the transitioning. Ooh, is that a little bit of contact there, setting Daniel Andreev a little bit wide. They're coming up onto that outside clip here. Beautiful job, Daniel Andreev doing a fantastic lead line, but Marco Rourke right there, beating in the door of that IRTS 15. He's not letting the
Oh my God.
Look at that lunge from Marco Rourke, but Daniel Andreev, a fantastic lead run to finish out that run. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the second half of this battle, you'll see the lights go red, the lights go green. Marco Rourke to lead in Daniel Andreev. Who is going to take home third place? Will it be a Supra? Will it be an S15? Who knows? Marco Rourke ready to send it in. Big full leg initiation. We love to see a big angle from Marco Rourke, but Daniel Andreev right there, not backing down, launching right up on the ground. AAD Supra absolutely locked and loaded and locked in. Daniel Andreev right there stuck to him, but ooh, a little bit of a gap opens up as Marco Rourke comes out through the rest of this course here, transitioning for the final corner. Daniel Andreev lunging up, sticking right to the door. Marco Rourke loses a bit of angle there as he gets towards the end of the run and finishes out the run. Once again, I'd love to tell you, but we can't tell you who wins this battle if we do come to a decision. If we do come to a decision, we're going to have to take it down to the podium, but first we'll move over to our first place battle. If we do get an OMT, obviously you'll see them run it again. But we're going to tell you who wins this battle when we get to the podium. What an amazing battle. Alex, do me the favor of letting me know when we have a decision.
I don't know myself.
All right, then Blackout will probably be the one to tell me.
So we have a decision for that battle, so we'll be moving on to the final, which is Ernests versus Danielas and Gauskas.
This is going to be one hell of a battle, ladies and gentlemen. This battle decides who takes first place. Danielas Parangauskas, Ernests Yakubulis. These guys have both climbed a mountain to get here. This is absolutely going to be phenomenal. Here we go. They're taking off immediately. Ernests Yakubulis, Danielas Parangauskas. Both of these guys, two titans of the sport. Here we go. Big initiation. Wide swing for Ernests Yakubulis and Danielas Parangauskas right there behind him. Ernests doing a fantastic job of lead position with Danielas. Not counted out yet. Right there on the back bumper. Just fantastic pushing up on the door of Ernests Yakubulis. Look at that bumper-to-bumper transition. A big launch for Danielas Parangauskas as they finish out this run. Man, these names are starting to get a little bit too much for the tongue. This is crazy. And I love that the two drivers with the longest names possible are in the final. Danielas Parangauskas is about to lead in Ernests Yakubulis for what could be the final run of the night. Here we go. What an initiation from Ernests. My God. Transitions right there on the bumper of Danielas Parangauskas. Look at this proximity, putting the pressure on, sweating out any mistake that he can. Oh my God. Out of Danielas. Look at this. Ernests all over the side of the F22. These transitions are absolutely phenomenal. Oh man. I can't. I'm done. I'm done. Voice is going. My jaw is starting to hurt. I can't with this, dude. It's absolutely insane.
What have we just seen?
We've seen a masterclass. This is like, you know, that whole like website called Masterclass that's like people like teaching you how to do things really well, like online courses only cost a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what just happened here. I feel like these guys have just taught us how to do a perfect final battle, because I couldn't tell you otherwise. That was perfect. That was the perfect final battle.
Absolutely insane from this tournament.
Absolutely incredible performance from everybody. And if we get a decision here, once again, we will be taking it down to the podium to decide and tell you guys who got the win. But while we're here, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and watching the event. Anybody who tuned into the stream at any point in time, anybody who's driving, anybody here who decided to show up and actually have a good time. Thank you so much. And it's people like you who make this series possible. Anybody who watches it and enjoys it make this series what it is. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been Austin Dunn, your commentator, as well as Alex O'Hara, also your commentator. Thank you for everybody enjoying our voices screaming all over the stream. Thank you for watching everybody driving. I'd like to thank Blackout. He's our streamer. He's the guy who keeps the show on the road here. I'd like to thank Rise Tire and Ardex for being our incredible judges, Bobby for being our car tech, Brandon Carter for doing the media. I mean, everybody, man, everybody here. It takes a village to run an event like this, and we've got a pretty strong one going. So I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. We still got more on the way. We've got more people we've got more rounds showing up. I hope you guys are prepared for this season to get even more intense, because this is absolutely insane. Should be waiting on a decision here any moment now. And once we get that decision, if it's an OMT, we'll run them again. But if we do have a winner, then we will take it down to the podium. We'll get everybody into one group, and we'll have our one of our judges or Alex here announce the.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry about coughing on stream there, everybody. My bad. What a battle it has been, ladies and gentlemen. This is just absolutely insane. We have a decision, which means we will be taking it down to the chat, and we will be announcing our drivers and our winners there. So if you give us just a moment, we'll get everybody moved over, and we will announce us some winners.
Yep, we will announce the winners in a second once we get everyone moved up. Right, so until everyone is leaving in the chat.
They're waiting for us to go down.
This one. Right, so we'll be moving now.
We are going to be announcing the winners of this round. We've got our last four drivers here. Everybody, I'd like to thank everybody before we get started here for showing up and driving your hearts out. I mean, we had some of the greatest battles I've seen all season come out this round. So I'd like to thank everybody for showing up and showing out here. The RT guys, like everybody here, Marco O'Rourke, you guys, like everybody's fantastic. Ernests, everybody's just absolutely incredible. This Final Four couldn't have been any crazier, and it's been absolutely exciting to watch. So without further ado, I'm going to send it over to Alex, and he's going to be reading out who's got the podiums.
Yeah, so amazing driving from all 32 drivers in the top 32 today. But there is only 3 people that will be on the podium, so I'm going to announce it from hard charger all the way down to first place. First place being before second, so you will know. So hard charger is Jack O'Farrell. Jack O'Farrell will be hard charger. And then in third place, the winner of the third and fourth place battle is Daniel Andreev. He is third place. And then your winner of SVDS this round is Ernests Jakublis. Ernests gets the win here at Driftland. Congratulations, Ernests. But yeah,
Yeah, I think you got that call wrong.
That's how I got it sent.
Yeah, you got that call wrong.
Yeah, you got that completely wrong.
Okay, Danielas wins.
Yeah,
Wow, way to
Danielas
kill the
bring out
suspension,
Dustin.
Alex O'Hara. Yes,
No, it's
your
Rise's
first
fault.
place. Your first place winner is Danielas Parangauskas. Absolutely. We are so sorry to Ernests, who probably just got super excited and then realized that he's only second place. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody for tuning into the stream, and we appreciate everybody showing up here. Everybody did an absolutely fantastic job. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll roll some ads and we'll cut the stream out here. Thanks everybody for showing up to SVDS Round 3.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
Mini skirt on, my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini